That's the other side of it as well. You've got Naga playing up against his old team. They decided to bring in Terra
Naga
instead.
is playing against his old
about Navi when it
team.
comes to the draft. Navi losing majority of the time to teams banning out the Elsa against them, and that's what Heretics have done. Immediately, it's different, Moxie. We're free.
Well,
we're free!
We said that would be the big
Elsa
curveball, right?
bans!
Because now the wheels are turning on the side of Na'Vi. The ball is in their court. What are you going to do in response? Probably look for a hypercarry duelist like the Phoenix if you still want to run the solo duelist. Maybe go for something like the Phoenix Wolverine so that Terra can get to play to his strengths. Since hearing from Enzo in the interview, they did not enjoy playing up against that one. But with Gambit in play, we now turn the focus onto Loki. Heretics will be banning that one out instantly.
Yo,
but
Dr.
Na'Vi
Legacy for 71
currently letting it
months.
slip a little bit further down,
Let's get
going for the ban out onto the Vanguard Deadpool on both sides instead.
And it seems that Navi might be picking up the Mantis themselves. The majority of drafts that Navi have won, it's been either getting the Elsa or the Gambit, whichever
This is going to be a great
but then
game,
also
bro.
getting a Deadpool Vanguard for, not only, trust me, but Rajaro's been playing a good amount of it as well. In fact, his most played Vanguard so far this tournament, surpassing the likes of Emma, which saw a lot of play, and also Magneto. It's a good look.
You can bring her to me if you want.
Bandit Heretics are like, yeah, you did this against First Pro. We're going to do this to you.
I mean, I like this approach too, because like then if Na'Vi want to play the dive, they would have to go for something like the Jeff. But as we've already seen, White Fox in play is very, very problematic for that Venom. Plus, Heretics will be able to save Daredevil, so Na'Vi can't ban it out. We've got the information. It won't be one-sided potentially. They'll be taking it. It looks like Tanuki's Psylocke, which has been one of the follow-through duelists. They're thinking about it, but they might decide to go for the Doctor Strange instead. It's a domination map, so if you take out the Strange, there's no portals. Also, Heretics, like if they want to open up with a very aggressive portal, plus use the team up from the Invisible Woman, which likewise, unseen in the ban draft, that is now stopped entirely.
Strange band out, yeah, like Invisible Woman was left open. In fact, less of a strategist focus in the draft stage, full stop. More eclectic, certainly with more Vanguard starting to show their faces.
Yeah, she has a very loud meow. I can hear that.
Want from a grand final. It might be missing a couple of names, but these two teams are at the top of their game. Pre-season EMEA grand finals, a full best of 7 against.
Come on, let's slap it down, bro. Let's slap it down. Come on.
It's a great way to start off the year.
Let's slap it down on me, bro.
Map 1, Na'Vi versus Team Heretics out of a potential 7.
Chat.
And it will be the Gambit.
Get hype, bro.
Na'Vi are already
Where's all my EU viewers?
Where's
all my
what is it?
Middle East viewers? Where's all my Africa viewers? Get hype. This is EMEA. This is your region, bro. This is your grand finals.
Wolverine instead, since Team Heretics, by taking away the Doctor Strange and the Vanguard Deadpool, their Vanguard line is going to be forced onto a double dive. Both the Captain America and the Venom, which means that Fate on the White Fox, he's going to be licking his lips, thinking about the CC opportunities when Team Heretics decides to commit to that dive.
I mean, Fate has looked the best when he was one of the early proprietors.
I'm your Asia viewer. Hey, appreciate it. Sadly, I don't watch the Asia region, but I appreciate the view.
The love train, I suppose, for the White Fox.
Okay, let's see this
option. A good thing here, Navi's composition is Brawly to say.
Remember, chat, Team Heretics just won. They just came off a best of 5 match 5. So I don't know if they're going to have a little fatigue. I don't know if they're going to be a little warmed up already, but we're about to see. And Navi did beat Team Heretics yesterday 3-0 in the best of 5, but this is a best of 7 now.
He's tried to sneak his way out, but there goes the second Vanguard. The
Hey, appreciate it. Keep it on, broski.
Navi take the first point.
Yeah, no
I don't even know who these people are, but I like watching your bald head play games.
Until now, Jerky does go down. Rajaro gets Oasis, and we're actually going to see the instant swaps come through. Team Heretics understanding Navi are going to play a very rush-heavy style with both the Wolverine and the Daredevil.
Navi is taking no prisoners already, bro.
So you swap onto the Emma and Rogue instead.
Whoever wins, chat, wins the grand finals and the best team in EMEA. Yes. This is the last game. This is the last match of EMEA.
They've got 30% of a point lead. Fate's going to be closer to the Kumeho Unleashed than Oasis on the Invisible Boundary. And crucially, Crook, he's about to have the first Raging Roll Flush of the whole round, far before Alex has the match.
Yeah, he's managed to actually get himself ahead. So this
I already
fight is
know,
going to be taken very quickly as the leaping of the Royal Flush goes in. Off of the Strange holding.
Oh my God.
He's forced to use the End Song Inferno to keep himself alive, but it's only going to be for a short second. Everybody's cleared up from Heretics. A clean sweep in this engagement, and it's just a one ultimate in the end that NAVI had to use.
Yeah, and now you're going to be sitting at a good 60% of the point. Plus,
hey,
Team
Terra
Heretics
has his face
still
cam
not
on
going
today.
to be able to engage through with their one-sided Gambit ultimate, which means that Trust Me gets an opportunity here, build the Heartbreaker, and drain it away before Alex can use, because that's Heretics' whole game plan at the moment. Terra gets scouted out, does manage to escape the situation unscathed. No line of sight for the Force Physics to pull him back in. But that stall out does mean that Team Heretics have been able to get themselves a little bit closer to the point, take some more damage. Last stand onto Enzo, though, taken behind the Strange Shield as well, so that Heretics can't heal him back. They have to commit the Gambit ultimate, but they're already down 2 players.
It's an over-dedication when there's so little on offer for Heretics. Oasis, though, managed to pull a few more picks, and the Kamiho is going to be used from Fate. One of the elements of this game that is certainly worth highlighting on the White Fox is how could
Team Heretics, you're backing up, bro. You got to go forward. You got to go forward. The point is in overtime. You got to touch.
Heretics can't quite touch, but with 4 ultimates, Moxie, it feels like this point was chopped. We move on to the Monument.
You gotta touch,
like the
bro.
stars aligned again for NAVI. Like you said,
is Virtus Pro out? I didn't see them of yesterday's games. Virtus Pro
in the
lost.
labs with Jeff from last year. Now getting to apply that same role with the White Fox has proved so problematic for a lot of these team compositions to deal with, especially since Dive was so big headed into both the group stages and
what's the prediction split? The prediction split is
70-30. The composition that NAVI
7.4 million against 3.1 million. 480 people against 200.
They lose the second one off of Snowball Ultimate Economy coming on through from Crook. Added to that again, one-sided Gambit Ultimate, a third one-sided ult coming, fight coming on through from the side of Heretics. No chance of being able to stabilize themselves, no chance of being able to have ultimates to pair alongside the Gambit, so that when Alex eventually uses the Raging Royal Flush, there's very little follow-up that the rest of the team can actually do. And unfortunately for Heretics, it might be more of the same, since Crook's already halfway to this next one. Rajara is going to be opening up with a portal too, just trying to put the pressure onto Heretics early, potentially force out that invisible boundary.
They're going very aggressive, bro.
Use the Heartbreaker before we can react. Oasis gets tagged by the Rogue ultimate, does escape it, so you do have the invisible boundary here.
I actually really do like that strat, chat. Teleport your team, you have Rogue ult, pop Rogue ult, so even if they have ults over there, your Rogue is ulting and then stealing all their ult charge, so you take the first fight when the enemy team has no ults. Bro, what a great play, bro. NAVI is looking very insane, bro. NAVI is looking really good.
Yeah, with that strange ban out as well. Heretics could not go for one of their own, having that invisible boundary already up before the fight started to push NAVI into potentially taking a fight. No strategist ult, no Gambit ult.
But Team Heretics is going to have about 4 ults here.
Oasis has the invisible boundary back, but they could just get very quickly overwhelmed as NAVI have closed up the distance, and they're eyeing up where exactly Oasis could be. Invisible boundary paired alongside Heartbreaker, the slow with the end song applied as well, does manage to mince through the sustainability of the Gambit, and NAVI lose the fight.
Nice. Team Heretics is showing a little bit of life.
Able to get something onto the board, and NAVI actually used it up quite a lot and still ended up losing the fight.
They are showing a little bit of life, chat. Nice.
There's not many ultimates to rely on outside of the Royal Flush that Alex is almost building up to. Terra leaping in off a character that people don't remember that used to be very good on way back when. Can't quite get much for the last stand as Heretics have retreated all the way back, playing with the information that Tanuki gets, the invisible boundary.
I remember watching Terra's Wolverine for the first time. That shit was disgusting.
It was a great spot, a great read from Tanuki, and he's found the counterattack from NAVI, missing and lacking.
Yeah, big fight win on the side of Heretics, but you still have to worry, is NAVI are going to be swapping
nice,
Terra
good D, bro. Good D, good D.
onto the Star-Lord. This is enough
the
to
one
be
thing that
able
I'm very
to win
scared
out
about
that
for Team Heretics, chat.
Galactic Legend Raging Royal Flush.
Like I said earlier, they did just play at Game 5, which took 3 hours, and now you're a best of 5, which went to Game 5, which took 3 hours. So 3 hours of high competitive gaming, and now you have to do another best of 7, which could take even 4 or 5 hours if it goes all the way. That's a lot of Marvel Rivals, bro.
To a well-placed Maelstrom of Madness.
Tanuki's gone into the backline again and found that pick over onto Crook, and Jerky's trading out the picks either way. Tanuki, both of them are like making this head-to-head work, but just focusing on the backlines and not focusing necessarily on each other. Naga, however, trying to spot where his duelist, a teammate prior to this, is gone, and it's a retreat back as Heretics have built their way up to 85%.
Yeah, but they haven't built up a strategy.
Watching
so,
this makes
like,
me want to
Navi get an opportunity.
Yeah, and then you play, and then you have throwers, and you never want to play again.
Royal Flush before Oasis has the invisible boundary. Tanuki falls early too, so Navi have a lot of confidence, just full send, take this fight. Oasis trying to battery up the ultimate as quickly as possible. Navi not using the Gambit ultimate instantly. Pressure from neutral alone forces out the invisible boundary, and Alex is outside of it. Goes down to the Maelstrom of Madness charge coming on through from Rajaro. OT is in play on the side of Team Heretics. Ensong Inferno for the health reset, but Navi have been waiting, biding that time. Out comes the one-sided Gambit ultimate, Heartbreaker alongside it. You've still got the Galactic Legend in the back pocket to be able to snowball into this next fight, because Navi still have to win up
bro, these
more
games,
if they want to be able to walk away with this round win.
It's a clash of the Titans, chat.
It's scary now. So Heretics, you've at least able to bring it to 99%, but we have seen some teams kind of flounder these like middle of progression fights and then be left with absolutely nothing. And there's no portal to go for either, which means that if you're dedicating here as Team Heretics on this retake, you very much need to go in with no ifs or buts, and everybody needs to be aligned. So now you've got some ultimates to sort of lead the way when it comes to the Heartbreaker and the Let the Devil Out, but it's Jerky that's going to try to prevent this. Get in there early to make sure the Heretics can't set
Ooh,
up.
nice ult.
Flush to try to go in.
Nice
and now
ult.
with this information, Navi's going to go in for the offensive.
Oh my!
The killing blow potentially as Jerky has found Naga on the outskirts, trying to go for a bit of a crossfire.
We're going to need a nerf on that
on the point
Spider-Man.
now that it's 80%.
Character.
Heretics' whole game plan is falling through. There's two ultimates that they had first are not going to be handy as Heartbreaker and Let the Devil Out still available for Heretics. They tried to go in, but Jerky shut the door on him.
Team Heretics, bro. Team Heretics. They don't have Strange, chat. Team Heretics doesn't have Strange because they banned Strange. They don't have the TP. They have to run to the point and touch it to send it to overtime. They're just going to die one by one now.
But he gets eliminated.
This is why you ban Strange, chat. Banning Strange is really strong on King of the Hill, or even any map, really.
It's only for a short amount of time. Enzo, now the resilience is needed to keep this point stalled, but it's not going to matter too much longer. Heretics can't quite get it all together, and Navi win out on Domination.
Yeah, Navi just doing a very good job of having both the Kumeho Unleashed as well as that Galactic Legend. So when Team Heretics tried to make a play off of
ranked, if you banned Strange, you would have banned your own Strange. That's why I love this. That's why I love MRI bans.
With the fight win, it's so close to last fight territory as well that they just
MRI bans make the game very interesting.
Absolutely impossible for a regroup on the side of Heretics. You don't have to worry about the Strange portal being able to bypass all of those player bodies. You literally just have to be able to scatter Heretics to the ends of the map.
Navi's team is so scary. They have such a strong front line, such a strong DPS line, and such a strong back line, bro, with the supports.
That when the Heartbreaker does come through on the side of Beetle, there's no rest of the team to be able to follow it up. You pick apart the Rogue, you pick apart the rest of the players, and you pick yourself up that first map.
One elimination against Fate. That backline of him and Crook looking stellar, and whilst it was more of a focus of level 1 Crook being able to play the Gambit when it was banned out before, he's at least able to make sure that it's glowing. Heretics changing up a big aspect of their draft, but Moxie, it didn't really amount to all that much in the end, and it means that there's going to be a little bit more required from them when it comes to this performance.
It feels again like just like Navi coming out with the Gambit, but already having the Rogue in play to be able to secure that first fight in neutral just allowed them to snowball so much of those domination setups.
See exactly where this next map is going to go. It's the choice of Heretics. We'll see after this break.
Oh my god, wait, they're coming out with a new Spider-Man skin? I've never seen this before. Yeah. I feel like level 1 and Saipei are both so damn good at their roles. So many supports and pro play, it's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of great. I mean, you guys are saying a level 1 Crook, which I completely agree on. But you guys are sleeping on Fate. Did you guys not see what Fate did yesterday? Or I think it was 2 days ago. Oh, no, I think it was yesterday where he froze a Doctor Strange ult, went back to spawn, switched to Rocket, threw down a res beacon. His Gambit died with ult. The Gambit resed through the beacon, and then the Gambit ulted and won that fight. Bro. Cinema. Also, Fate is a really good friend of ours. He queues with us sometime, even though he plays Jeff. He's still a great guy. Great player, too. Yeah. Got a clip of that? I don't know if chat has clipped it, but yeah. Ooh, that's big. Without context. Oh, Emily sent me something. A tweet. Without any context, that's actually really funny. I have it. Randomly looked at the donut, saw this error. That's weird. Hold up, chat. Let me see it. This page cannot. So you cannot tip the streamer right now. The page owner needs to update their settings for tips. Huh?
Former world champs for a reason. NAVI take a solid first game versus Heretics. But hallelujah to everyone who was talking about it yesterday. Heretics did bad out Terra's Elsa. Moxie, was it worth it?
I mean, it's always going to be really difficult in a Gambit mirror when you lose the first fight so one-sidedly, so that you don't get the opportunity of mirroring the Gambit ultimate itself, 100%. Right? We talked about it a little bit on the actual cast. That first fight, Navi coming on through with the Rogue already in play, being able to perfectly mark out when Heretics would go for the dive hit with both the Cap and the Venom, already having the White Fox posted up as well to absorb it, just meant that they steamrolled through the whole team. There was very little healing opportunity for Heretics' backline to be able to match. So second fight, boom, Navi just full send with a one-sided Gambit ultimate because they know you have zero defenses against it. And from there, it's going to be an ult dump fight that you rely on being able to just grab that fight and map control back, and then your back is against the wall, the other side has way too much point percentage, and they can just play for a one-fight win situation.
Ryan, it looks like Heretics now, with their map choice, have decided to live up to their namesake, take the fight to the gods, and are taking us to Yggdrasil Path as our next map, taking us to Convoy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Heretics are going to be upset that they can't go for any Sharknado plays, because that was something that they were relying on some of these more chaotic grand finals to get past first, which is where Navi held them on the last time that these two teams played against each other yesterday. So it feels like at least Heretics have had the chance to work out some stuff, use the fact that they played up against Shikigami on this map as a bit of a warm-up for this, but Navi got to sit here and watch it all come into play. I think the curious thing really is just sure, with the Elsa, if you're banning it out instead, it sort of forces Navi to be able to sort of play in those positions. You at least get Croc away from the Lunar Snow when he's going to be playing Gambit, so you don't have that duo to deal with. But it's still scary. That backline is hard to shut down.
We also saw, we're talking about that backline, we saw Fate once again getting his hands on the White Fox Moxie, which, as usual, seemed to do them some pretty good work as we head into map number 2.
Here we go. Map 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Screw this, it's
Will
rigged.
The ban draft change
because what do you mean they can't give Heretics at least an hour off when they come off a map 5 series, whatever.
Onto that Elsa. Looks like they're going to be sticking
what is production and what are we going to do as spectators when they get an hour off. Like, brother,
for a save onto the Manta.
The show must continue.
Yeah, I do wonder.
The show must
looking
continue.
At the Deadpool Vanguard, especially
it's
as
not
that
rigged.
third ban for both sides.
Maybe Team Heretics should have beat Navi yesterday, so Navi would have had to been in the lower brackets and played both games.
Priority in it. They're not really that worried about sort of going for anything else. Like it was the Mantis that they went for beforehand. Going to protect the Gambit to make sure that it's not going to be taken out. But it is maybe going to put some early stress on Team Heretics to ban out the Deadpool Vanguard earlier, or go for something else instead. Because Loki and Mantis.
Why does everyone think everything is rigged?
The Heretics are going to go for is, like you can't let Loki Gambit. If you've got a Gambit mirror, but one team has Loki, then you can literally just use your first Raging War Flush Cast to force the other, and then come through with your own still in the actual pocket. As we'll get the ban now onto the Vanguard Deadpool. Not a Manta save, but a one-sided invisible woman coming on from the side of Navi. And we saw it a little bit earlier on Spider Islands. A lot of these Convoy maps are a little bit more linear in terms of how your core team plays. So being able to have that pierce ability to both heal and damage at the same time does mean that invisible boundary builds up very, very quickly. Plus, you're expecting some elements of dive coming on through with things like the Daredevil and the Venom, and having the force physics up to be able to deal with just a soft dive, then having its hand forced into turning into a hard dive, into turning into a visit back to your respawn point is very, very handy.
Come on, come on, Navi, show me the money!
Heretics, which means that Navi could, if they wanted, go for a ban onto the Mantis.
Show me
thinking potentially about going for a ban onto the Groot, but we'll go for the damage boost instead.
So is a one-sided Loki available for Team Heretics?
NA apparently starts at 5 p.m.
And I think that mostly is for the case of like, well, Alex is their Gambit player and also their Loki player and also their Invisible Woman player. You can't clone him out. Like Oasis probably can move over to the Invisible Woman.
Crazy,
but, like,
appreciate it.
Does he play Loki that much? It's hard to get a gauge. So Navi actually sort of feeling like them not having access to Loki and the other team do. Not too much of a stress for them, ultimately.
Yeah. Navi going to be starting off on this defense. Terra actually going to be starting off on this Wolverine. And I mean, that takes us back, right? We were talking about the history of some of these teams. Terra was a previous player called Apathy who played on the side of Team Mutants, who were actually the team that won MLC Season 0 back in America, all the way back in 2025, before that team then got picked up by 100 Thieves, and he name changed to Terra. But he was a huge pusher of this Wolverine as a staple, as a duelist, as well as that Winter Soldier, and being able to play that one with both the Phoenix so that you have the Primal Warrior team up, meaning that you have extra survivability with the lifesteal based off the damage that you do.
Over the casters.
It's going to be very problematic for Team Heretics to have to deal with, since on the attack you're expecting some element of dive coming out from the side of Heretics just to force Navi to turn their attention to deal with it, so that the rest of the team have a safer time pushing past this first corner.
Yeah, they're trying to do.
I do want a close game though, but I want my prediction to be right, so I can tell all these J3 cursors that I don't have a curse.
Just me going to make sure.
Oh yeah, but it looks like
attacking side of Heretics is going to find too much, and maybe got more than he bargained for. But the cooldowns all come out to just allow him to leap back to his team for some support. Terra trying to see if he can go in for the leap. It's available
the Daredevil.
now. Yeah, making sure that he's got
Why
an eye
aren't
on
they
him.
running
Might
Blade?
Have
It's
the
meta.
Sense or the killer instinct, but is just going to use his scent in order to try and make sure that.
Did you see another Flats tier list?
Yeah, not just Tanuki, but Beetle as well. So Terra's going to have to be a lot more proactive in patrolling these lanes, as opposed to Tanuki, who with the passive gets to see where you'll be, but the Wolverine grabs the follow-up damage. And again, Navi just in full control at this point in time.
Flats is my friend,
Terra's been an absolute beast that Heretics really have to turn and deal with. They're just not finding these opportunities as Oasis doesn't play the Luna, goes for the Jeff instead. So trying to play away from the fight, but because so many of these Wolf grabs are depositing Heretics players past the corner, there's no line of sight for the Jeff to actually help out healing.
Tanuki leaping in, just almost using the heads of Navi as a way to step to his way.
This is rage bait, so their advantage could be that their opponents are exhausted. Ridiculous argument. That's not a ridiculous. On the same side, you could say that Team Heretics is warmed up because they already played a match. Navi hasn't, so Navi's at a disadvantage because they haven't been playing. That's a ridiculous argument, bro.
split apart intermittently.
Yo, Beerus with the massive 2 gifted subs, my friend. Absolutely insane.
Fate has the invisible
you see how ridiculous that sounds?
But Heretics will have Gambit ult. You also have to worry about the Ensong Inferno and Meteor Am. If the Guardian Shield from the Invis is too early, Ensong breaks it.
I don't think this guy's have ever competed in a bracket stage before.
From behind it. So we're going to see Ensong coming on through.
This is a best of 7,
utilizes that Raging Well flush. Fate reacts with the invisible boundary as Heretics just go into the ultimate, brawling with the Gambit to make sure that Na'Vi don't just get to sustain and push back the moment that it drops. But Crook's been able to get one.
Oh my god, did you guys see level 1 Crook's like lighting in his face cam? He looked like a demon.
Heretics taking
He's
the fight
playing
into
like
the
one. Oh my god, watch what happens when they show you level 1 Crook, bro. He looked like a demon. The lighting and everything.
Basically, a second job that Rogue had there. Trust me, trying to get rid of Oasis. That
hey, great play by Team Heretics, though. Cap at first point.
There's a little bit too much for them to deal with. Heretics having a good attacking side. Probably one of the
I've seen enough. Let Jeff fly. Hey, I have spectated a cheater where Jeff was flying before, so if you haven't seen that YouTube video, you should definitely go see that.
Battles that are happening in Moxie are on the outskirts. It's where Tanuki and Beetle are taking these fights.
Yeah, which is why Jerky has swapped to the Daredevil so that you can scout out before Heretics are in position to hit. Heartbreaker comes on through from Trust Me, but Beetle has the Freedom Charge, so Heretics will be able to hold their heads above the water at the moment. Last stand attempted, does find a connection onto Enzo, so you do lose the mag. Rajari sees an opportunity. Aya Agamotto catches Tanuki mid-ultimate with Jerky using his own Let the Devil out. Na'Vi doing everything that they can to just burn Heretics out of players, out of ult economy as well, and potentially just lose this fight, but be able to win the next with close to the respawns.
It's just a scrap. It's a Saturday night outside the local pub for some of these melee characters. Every perspective we switch to, it's just throwing hands to the best of their abilities. Naga, though, trying to see if he can sort of take this high ground perch atop and stop these players from Na'Vi trying to go in for the reset. They see exactly where these other defenders are trying to come from as Trust Me leaps into the fray again onto the Rogue. Everybody's grouped up onto the objective, so whether these cleaves from the Jean Grey
look at it, look at this face cam.
Might be great. Beetle, however, goes down.
Let the devil out!
Song Inferno.
He's going demon mode right now, bro.
Frontliners, Trust Me, keeps going down in these fights over and over again. Royal Flush has created a lot of space, but you see Tanuki sneaking behind to maybe try and backcap this or group up with the rest of his team that have been sent back to spawn.
But Na'Vi catch up with the disengage. Heretics try to kite out the first Gambit ult, then recover the fight with their own. But now they're getting the eliminations onto a little bit of an overextension coming on through from Na'Vi's end. Still not a full team wipe, though. Just taking so much time off of this bank. Fate's got the Kumeho unleashed. You have to be concerned about Enzo just using the Meteor Am to take all of that extra health down. It's Jeff comes on through on the side of Oasis. Might Yap does get the White Fox. You can grant CC immunity to the rest of your team, but you're not waterproof. And there goes the It's Jeff taking Fate in the ultimate off the map.
It's a sink and a brief drink, I think, for Heretics. But they're still not able to actually get much going. Terra's brung out the last stand, and it has isolated Enzo from the rest of his team. With this fight, you can see almost that it's going to be Naga that was going to take a step back, trying to use his ultimate aggressively. As Tanuki is switched away from the Daredevil to go away onto the Psylocke now. Enzo also on the thing. It's going to get even more brawly, surprisingly. It feels like all of these players are just wanting to take good chunks out of each other. But Na'Vi stem the bleeding again, only for a brief second. As this is a very early portal play. It's not going to be useful in overtime now for Heretics. This is a big gamble to try and take this fight ahead of Navi's ultimate cycle.
Especially because Crook, right? That's what you're going for. Beetle has the Freedom Charge. You have to run at the Gambit and find the elimination. But Rajari's identified that Heretics are making the first move. The backline are going to be vulnerable. Forces the POV Eye of Agamotto, and that frees Crook up to get the ultimate online and Na'Vi to run into Heretics.
Bro, Na'Vi is looking.
Let the devil out.
Na'Vi is looking
that was the
too good, bro.
That was the play coming on through from Heretics.
They are looking
before the Gambit ultimate.
They are. Look at level 1 Crook. Look at level 1 Crook, bro. He is vibing in his face cam, bro. He is vibing. He's probably listening to some Mariah Carey, listen to some, Christmas music and having a great time, bro. Full of dominating
the line drawn in the sand. Not held on first this time, but held on second.
All I want for Christmas
Would have been
is you.
hell of mechanics to work it through. I do like Heretics going for like that early portal, just trying to get ahead of the Raging Royal Flush, and it would have worked to an extent if it wasn't for Rajaro coming in with a pretty major like Eye of Agamotto. Didn't result in any eliminations, but it just bought time. Raging Royal Flush, you could already see that Jerky, who masterful switch over to the Daredevil, that changed a lot on Navi's defense. Those two ultimates used together, you just run it down. You've got Rogue on your team as well. They're going to be happy to just go in with the aggressive nature of the Royal Flush ultimate. Navi worked wonders with the timing, and Heretics were very close to a 200 IQ play. It was just a couple of milliseconds off.
Yeah, it's just like defense team macro, right? Take as many fights as you can. Even if you lose them, you're still forcing ults, you're still getting trades, and crucially, you're also still forcing time.
Are there matches after this? Yes, after this is NA. We have to do NA finals
to be able
now.
to brute force the fight and beat the close respawns. Still, for Yggdrasil Path, they did get quite a far distance through, and especially now that they get the Star-Lord at the start of the fight
for 2 months.
to be able to play alongside that Gambit. It's a risk here though, because in terms of Vanguards, you're giving up the Rogue or the Mag to be able to pair with this Gambit. It cost them that first fight on Hell's Heaven before, trust me, having much more damage in the neutral, but Enzo having that brawliness to be able to have both the damage reduction but also get those punches past the Strain Shield. Not immune though to the Rogue
Yo,
grab.
Soprano,
So
stop responding to that guy. That guy's obviously rage bait, bro.
Just hoping to go for the swings and maybe take a leaf out.
The guy created his account today and now is trying to spew things like that.
However,
just ignore it, man.
Navi
Icy, appreciate the massive
a bit
prime
more
sub, my
distance
friend.
to push than last time where they full held Heretics on first. But this fight has gone so well to begin with. Heretics are close enough that they're not going to need the portal play, but Oasis switching over to the White Flux pretty early on. We haven't seen an awful lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Navi though, like, honestly, something that we have to talk about, pretty hard to be able to, like, see just from POV. Rajaro with the Strange, just going for the shield flashes, stopping the heal line of sight coming on through from Heretics since it's a health bar as opposed to a cooldown.
Chasing a Captain America? That's scary, man.
Trust me, does go down,
scary.
overextended from the rest of the team. Heretics with the player advantage in this fight, still having to be very, very cautious that they have one person always contesting on that cart. Fate gets the invisible boundary, but we got the clobbering time off onto both Terra and Rajaro, but it's inside the invisible boundary, so most of the players are able to recover. They lose Jerky, but what they have to worry about is the fact that Heretics have that Gambit ultimate ready to go, but down 2 players. They're going to have to beat out Navi's whole team who still have theirs.
Eye of Agamotto is handy for Rajaro, but right now with the Royal Flush, he's just using it as a chance to go in for the more aggressive approach.
Oh, I feel so bad, bro.
Actually, to try and stall this out, Eye of Agamotto is going to be used to make sure that the Fox gets put straight down as Terra cleaves up the rest of the defenders from Heretics. They wanted to go for that last-minute stall, built up the ultimates, but it didn't matter. Rajaro is the king of this one.
The good thing, though, for the side of Heretics is that you forced out both the Eye, the invisible boundary, and that Raging Royal Flush. Jerky's going to go for a close hold. He's very close to let the Devil out. A couple of hits from the Billy Club, and he'll be right there. But what you're really worried about is Heretics utilizing the Star-Lord ult to buy all of the space back. Trust me, he's got the Heartbreaker too. Might be able to find the connection early on onto the Star-Lord, but no, there it is, and there Jerky goes.
Leaping
get it.
Absolutely make a carving through. Trust me, he's gone down at the same time.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. Come on.
4 more minutes. It's not that much distance, but it's just.
Why are the commentators saying every ability
of defenses, Moxie, that have been held from this point for a
because it's their job.
Time. But Navi have so
and it shows
much
professionalism.
They're willing to allocate some just neutral exchanges to get some of these ultimates together to go in for the full kitchen sink approach.
Oh, yeah, Crook's just building up, slowly shoring towards that next Raging Royal Flush. Clobbering time from Enzo, misses, down to the butterflies, forces out the invisible boundary, but Jerky punishes the fact that Heretics have no strategist to be able to survive. Navi lost.
Yeah, my family calls me Sugar Tits.
Now you're going to be looking at what Heretics have available. Swap onto the Strange. Enzo's maybe going to try and portal the team into position, but level 1 Crook's going to be available. Might go for the cancel onto the TP as well. Rojaro's just riding the cart. Heretics having to walk right into it, but that means that they have to go into that Gambit ultimate.
Gotta stay on point, gotta stay on point. It's only point 30.
Has the heartbreak
nah,
to
GG chat. GG's 3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes
comes out from the side of Rojaro, and NAVI complete the push with time to spare. 2:51 left as they're able to equalize and surpass the distance posted by Heretics.
A statement attacking side, and
I guess you could say
such panache. You have to say another MVP performance from level 1 Krug,
bro.
MVP of the mid-season finals, the first international event that we saw an EMEA team win. And whilst it is just going to be our guys in Europe facing up against each other, it's still the same MVP performance in these grand finals.
Naga still did really well. 16-4. Tanuki, 11 final hits. Oh, bro, the tanks, bro. Enzo, bro, what's happening? You're better than that.
I mean, Rojaro on this
6 and 10?
Absolutely.
You're better than that.
So far, not just lights out, heals out on the side of Heretics too. Like the damage blocked, 37,000. We have to have a separate track on how much healing he's been able to block on the side of both Alex and Oasis. As I was like talking about the shield flash that you can do with the Seraphim shield, since you can just bring it up so consistently, you'll see it there. The moment that NAVI work out, someone from Heretics is a little
If the games keep going like this, chat, we might have to play a little quick play or ranked games myself, because this might be over by 3, and the NA matches start at 5. So
brings the shield up, and NAVI takes them right out.
It's a great way for NAVI to actually put themselves at the top of the
might have a little bit of time.
Power rankings.
We might have a little bit
and there's still more to go. For Heretics, you have a choice of map again, and then some, as it is a first to 4. But it does mean that we will be going to a convergence map. It was half heaven before the team Heretics chose. It didn't necessarily go their way. So we'll have to see if it's going to be a change up to something like Jalia or Symbiotic Service. We'll have to see as this best of 7 goes on.
Jay, do you know if the fleeting butterfly skin will come back? I don't know if any skins that were previously sold would probably come back. All I know is that they bring back sometimes the battle pass, like they did with season 2 battle pass. But I don't know. How tired are you? I'm fine, chat. I'm fine. We've only been streaming 60 hours in the past, like, 3 days, chat. We're fine, bro. Devs said everything will return except the White Wanda and Blue Venom in an interview before. There you go. I don't know if that's relatively true or not, but if the devs said it, then the devs said it.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Yeah. It's true. So that means, if that is true, that means if you weren't here for all of the bikini skins and beach theme skins, because I see a lot of people saying, wow, I really want those skins, they will probably be back. They will be back. I just want a Bucky Mankini skin, bro. If I get a Bucky Mankini skin, oh, bro, I'd be happy, man. I'd be happy. I should go over here so you guys can see the thing. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, chat. We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere. If you leave, I will find you. And I will devour your soul. Don't leave. Don't leave.
Social. 1,000 gods!
It's time to try and bring back some trauma, as Heretics looking into the bank of what's left available when it comes to their convergence maps, and they pick the one that NAVI lost on first this stage. They are taking a little bit of a Shikigami strategy, and they're going to take them to Central Park, Ryan.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be looking up to the torch in the sky and be like, remember who you are. Just Shikigami trying to give some of that energy over. This is wild for Team Heretics. They're 0-2 on Central Park so far in the preseason, and they go, you know what? This is the map that we want to go to. You don't want to go to Jalia because Navi are pretty prominent on it, and it is also their map pick. Clintar, Lord knows how that's going to go. And Shin Shibuya, no, absolutely not. They're going for Central Park despite not winning on it.
Yeah, but maybe like that's the play, right? If your map loss rate is as poor as that, it's maybe the move that Navi would least expect and therefore do the least amount of preparation in anticipation of you choosing it.
Again, there is also the argument that Shikigami were able to take the win off of Navi on this map, and Team Heretics have now had to go up against Shikigami doing that potential strategy multiple times now. They've probably played this map quite a few times on the exact same strategies repeatedly. They might have been able to pick up something by osmosis, or at least come up with some ideas, because right now it's time for new ideas, because Navi are 2-0 up. They are halfway towards a grand finals victory.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're the side of like Heretics, you're looking at what Navi have been playing, which is really like interfering with what you want to do. I know they got like so much flack for not instant banning the Elsa, but it opens the opportunity for the Gambit, Rogue, Starlord, Mag
Act normal, he's back. Who am I banning?
And like, trust me and Rajar at the moment, as much as we talk about Navi's like backline,
who am I banning?
Their duelists, we have to acknowledge that their Vanguards are getting some serious work done. They were a lot of the reason why they were able to take as much space as they did on Yggdrasil.
Ryan, what would you like to see different, if anything, from Heretics? Do they just need to lock her in a bit more, or are there some changes that could be made in this draft stage?
Yeah, you know what? If they really are triple strategist merchants, let's at least see it.
I go to the gym.
Because we have been trying to play this like 2-2-2. It is what they're good at, right? Like Mantis is used in one of the main focuses.
Bro, what is wrong with you guys?
Both the teams want the Gambit first. I would like to see Heretics at least try to lean towards that a little bit more, because going up against Navi in this 2-2-2 is hard. It feels very much like
Benzi
trying to match up to them pound for pound against what they're prominent at. And if Navi get forced to triple strategist, yeah, sure.
Damn, Benzi with the
5,000 Lunar Snow, and then Fate is
bits.
just this mastermind.
Absolutely insane. You're crazy, bro. Benzi, you gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. Also, C's Pizza. Appreciate the massive new tier 1 sub for 6 months.
Like we said, it's only 2-0.
When you guys sub for 6 months and not only save money because I think it bundles it, right, and all that stuff, how do you guys know that you're gonna enjoy watching me in 6 months? What happens if you sub for 6 months and then after 2 weeks you're like, wow, J3 sucks at predictions. I want my money back. I want my channel points back. What happens?
Have all the momentum, Moxie.
Nah, I'm just joking. You guys know you're going to have fun in 6 months. You're going to sub for 6 months, and then tomorrow's going to be your resub, and you're going to be like, wow, I just subbed yesterday. Time flies when you're having fun. Chat, you guys have fun in this chat, right? Best watch party, hands down. That's why you guys have fun.
And speaking of igniting the battle, looks like we are igniting the time stream, and our lobby will be
I appreciate midnight.
Shortly, meaning that we are potentially, if Heretics cannot bring it back, halfway towards a Navi victory. So Heretics need to jump on in and see what they can do as we head to Central Park for game number 3 of our
You guys are going to make me shake some ass, bro, if you guys keep being this nice.
And Ryan Central.
I was gonna.
I hate you no matter what.
Which is like very disrespectful Team Heretics to be making the audience wait 20 minutes between every game. But I mean, these guys have known each other for so long. He's obviously just ribbing them as, like Tetra said, Heretics wanted to use this bit of time to actually come up with a strategy. Whether it's going to be a big change up or not, remains to be seen, but we'll see exactly how this draft is going to start.
J3 has hot takes, and I'm here for it. True! Hot take number 1, Navi reverse sweeps.
That's already very, very different. Vanguard Deadpool is going to be the first save, so Navi now get the opportunity.
J3, what heroes do you play? I've never seen you play before. I am a Black Widow and Scarlet Witch 2-trick.
That they're thinking about.
Specialist.
Looks like it might be a Mantis lock. There's debate going back and forth about where they want to take it. Invisible Woman's very, very good at getting invisible boundary up with the amount of healing you can do when you're all boxed in those small spaces. But Mantis also means that you have to think about Loki and Phoenix and all of the rest of triple strat lines with the Ultron as well.
So is this going to be a ban on the Mantis? Is it going to be the Loki early on for Heretics here? It is a bit of a different change-up. And I do think
are you doing double drops? Yes, chat. My community will always have all the drops if there's ever drops for Marvel Rivals.
Like, okay,
you guys can get the Gambit, and you guys can also get the...
let's just work this out bit by bit. They're going to make it
Gambit came out today, and you guys can also get the Daredevil that came out Friday.
It could be traded out either way. You could sort of see them deliberating, but it is a one-sided...
Wait, did I say Navi was going to reverse sweep? Oh, I mean Team Heretics. Team Heretics is going to reverse sweep, chat. Trust. Trust.
Or is it Groot save?
I would never lie to you guys. Trust.
Really good Groot map, and then you could potentially force Heretics into having to use this last ban on the Mantis, which means that you would then get the Loki through.
Trust. Chat, trust.
This is a rough one. Like if Loki gets through, then you have 2 casts of Gambit ult. If Mantis gets through, then you have 12% damage boost. Well, they'll get both because Heretics take out the Daredevil instead.
And they're going to protect the Jeff, which is, a very different draft.
I don't even need to watch drop. I don't even need drops to watch J3. True.
Tertiary,
even if there was no drops happening, you should still watch J3 because I'll be dropping something if you know what I mean.
Hey guys,
so there will always be drops.
Ultron touch, go! But they maybe want to go for this one-sided group, which is weird. It's going to be the Wolverine band to make sure that Tanuki doesn't get a chance to really make it work. The thing
where can I get your shirt? This is a Bape shirt. I don't know if Bape has a website. I try to use my I try to go on their website, but it doesn't work for me at least.
Venom, Captain America, Angela more so.
Yeah, but I mean, Navi, they've got
I am watching you for drops because Necros is insufferable to listen to.
With just the wall pressure you can put on these players when they try to walk from main onto point. Terror on the Wolverine 2 is going to further exacerbate that. If someone gets grabbed, they're going to be deposited behind the team, and then trust me, you can use the walls to break the line of sight so that Heretics don't get the opportunity to stabilize them. And you'll be able to find those eliminations as Fate's going to be rolling out.
That website doesn't load for me.
Level 1 Crook, by the way, currently showcasing the Rocket Raccoon. So we've actually got a triple... Oh, no,
okay, let's get this, guys.
Giving the armor pack and the jump cookie to Terror, I guess.
You and Necros should have an oily twerk off.
Okay,
true.
Orange, orange, orange. Where's the blue, guys? Where's the blue? There's the blue. Now I can swap off the Rocket and go to the Gambit. But I do like the fact that Fate's already on potentially like looking for these like CC opportunities. Thought about going for the White Fox, decides instead to go over.
You guys heard it here first. J3 versus Necros.
As well as the ice arts.
Oil twerk off on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view.
There's a big question to
okay, let's get this.
So, I'm sorry, Tanuki. Is Tanuki going to fall off the map this time on Central Park? It's so scary for him. As
is Tanuki going to fall off the map? That's crazy.
Go in for the dives onto the Daredevil as the Wolverine was banned out prior. Again, is this 2v2 setup with Naga and Tanuki being on the duelists to try and go for this fight? Navi matching him, but it is Beetle that finds that first blow up against Fate onto the backline. The peel not quite there. He's immediately switched over towards the White Fox to make his way back, and the redive has gone in for Beetle, but he's caught out from Terror, who's pulled him into the mud.
Yeah, that Phoenix too, just doing so much damage. Fate actually goes to the Strange. No one was close enough to be able to facilitate the White Fox teleporting into the fray. They're so close to having Rage of Ultron or that Gambit ultimate, which would force Heretics to take a big step backwards since they've out of ults. Enzo does not have another ban hammer to set things in motion. This is giving Navi the opportunity. Crook's about to get the ultimate up. If Heretics can't put the pressure onto the Gambit, it's going to come on through. Strangling Prison catches the backline. Alex falls. No Fate of both worlds to turn the fate of the Lunar Snow. And Navi will be able to stabilize their hold, but crucially, they do give up 2 ticks of point percentage.
Could have been Heretics actually taking a point in pretty good time there if it wasn't for
Damn,
some
bro.
well-played and well-placed ultimates. Just me knows that he needs to put this focus in on these players trying to reset.
If they actually capped that, that would have been insane
time
time for them. Also, some people are saying, why are he proved inside of West Heroes Wolf isn't banned?
It's a bit more of a clearer sky. He doesn't have too
that's a
much
great
pressure on
question.
him, and all of his teammates are
We're
lined up
watching
in a
Terra's Wolverine, but I
fantastic
see him
way.
miss a
Oasis
lot of
gonna bring
ults,
out
so
the
maybe
It's
Team
Jet
Heretics
2,
doesn't think
anybody that can
that's
be
their
spit off the
main,
map, but both worlds and then Song Inferno means that Heretics have dedicated
it's like the
free
main
ultimates
thing that they're
to
scared
him at
about.
this
Oh
point.
my god,
Yeah, the Jet is
fat!
about to get a few more
Fat
speed boost
ult
as well.
though! Oh my
Sayonara
god,
as Navi.
Oasis!
You're going to be sent back
Massive
to the second
ult.
checkpoint as things move on.
Oasis just gets an all-you-can-eat
bro,
buffet.
massive. That's
Navi
rare.
have very little that can actually stop the Jeff. There's no one-shot potential. Likewise, there's no Mag or Hulk to be able to bubble it. The thing you're relying on is like
bro.
the group
Usually
to be
you
able
never
to
see
wall
big
you
Jeff
above
ults in
the
pro play
reach
because
of
they
it.
all have like
But
high
Oasis
mobility
comes on for
characters,
the
and also
clutch.
no one
Terror
really
with the last stand
stacks
lands
up,
onto
or everyone
Beetle.
knows not
Navi
to
putting
stack
the
up when
full
Jeff has
focus
ult.
on taking him down. Spectral Surge as well to make sure that the Cap does not get the opportunity to use the ultimate Freedom Charge and recover, and that means that Heretics, they've lost all of that map space that initially they've been able to secure.
Yeah, Terra is showing that it's not just these hit scan characters where he connects onto them nicely. It's the Wolverine alongside. He is the projectile that he's firing right that way. And Beetle
I will
gets
say
caught
Terra
out,
has an
sort of
insane
posturing for
Wolverine,
a
but
bit of
his
the high
Wolverine
ground,
back then when
gets
we
caught
first
out
used
by
to
the
watch him
feral
was
leap,
actually
and then the
really
ultimate,
scary.
and he's just
Like I remember
CC'd into
he used to
oblivion.
hit
Has the
every
freedom
single
charge,
ability,
but
every
Heretics already
single
sort of stuck
everything.
in their own attacker spawn. It's difficult, but there's already these like lifts of the high ground that Heretics are trying to use. Strangle Prison's going to bring them back down, or at least attempt to, as Tanuki is brought out to let the devil out. You've also got the freedom charge that's going to allow a little bit more space to be created. There's the speed boost ult charge for everybody else.
Oh, Tanuki, there you go. Oh, Tanuki!
Along up the high ground.
Oh, great use of the righteous
Yeah,
cross coming
bro,
in through
I'm
from
sick and
Tanuki
tired of
on the
seeing that
Daredevil.
character, bro. Can we get a nerf on
capacity of movement,
Adam Warlock's
gets him
fly?
close enough to grab the Jaff
Come on.
bubbles for the heal as well as that speed boost, and does not go down. And so has a ban hammer, might go down onto the Star-Lord, so that Jerky just disappears in a puff of
Hey,
smoke.
Tanuki
Iframe your
staying
way
on
out
the
of that
map
one.
and
As Fate comes on
dominating,
for
bro.
Kumiho
That's what
Unleashed,
happens
trying
when
to
you stay on the
stabilize
map and
Navi's
not fall
position.
off.
Once Heretics are out of ultimates, they don't really have anything
Damn,
left.
bro.
The Galactic Legend may be in its Jeff, but that's allowing
Someone earlier
Navi
said Tanuki
another
is a bad
chance
Daredevil.
at stabilizing that team and potentially finding an opportunity to use the strange ult.
Fights a scary one. Naga gets stunned out of it. He's immediately stunned. That's two Galactic Legends.
Two ult stun. Well, actually, Jerky
Navi
had
hold
his
on
killed.
with this defense, and it was a
Naga still
fantastic
retains
interrupt,
50%.
But it is available for this next fight so long as Naga can build it up. But it's more time stalled.
Oh, Terra is an absolute monster on the Wolverine. He truly is one of, if not the best in the world at this character. And like you said, you'll have Galactic Legend pretty quickly back up, but for Navi, they've got the Gambit ultimate in this fight. Even if Heretics go for this map flip, trying to avoid the poke, get onto the objective itself, and just put the pressure to force Navi to turn their attention away, you've still got your Gambit ult. You can stand up to the damage potential of the Let the Devil Out, and basically say, okay, time to pack it in.
Beetle goes down first again. It makes sense. He's trying to be the one that's pushing Heretics into these fights, and he just
Come
gets
on, Team
pulled
Heretics.
out
You
of
guys got this.
position
I
by
believe
all
in
of
you
the
guys. Come on.
CC available. Watching Fate also sort of swing these claws around is almost making Wolverine blush, as Crook has led the fight nicely with the Royal Flush. It's not going to be available for Heretics to use on their side. They have good ultimates, but none are going to hit as hard as that one.
I mean, if Navi hold close as well, they could potentially force Heretics to use early. Crook's been able to scout out that Oasis is so far behind. Both of the bubbles get burned.
Oh, level one
Oasis
Crook,
goes
bro.
down. Might potentially be wanting to meet the team from the past. Galactic Legend from the Star-Lord manages to catch on to Jerky. Alex too stabilizing the team, but Navi, they've been able to keep their players up. The last time Alex.
He wasn't able to get the other kill though.
Put on mute once Fate of Both Worlds ends, and Navi are putting Team Heretics on pause at the moment. 40 seconds left. This objective has barely moved in 4 fights.
It's not shuffled at all. It's got a freedom charge. That's going to be about it for this next 30 seconds. Maybe Tanuki can get a Let the Devil Out in order to go for this fight, but you have to look at Jerky that's going to try and run it back with the Galactic Legend. Rajaro also, Ayabagamotos, they have been hitting pretty nicely if he can go in for the fight at the right point. But Beetle, there he goes, trying to go in, seeing the targets that he wants to focus, and he goes onto the back line. You've got the portal that was used to teleport the Ayabagamotos is going to come in from Rajaro. Not getting too much as Beetle is just absolutely hammering behind this backline. Takes out Terra for his troubles at the same time. Payload is moving. Enzo finds
Come
two.
on.
And now the banhammer is very close to being available. Portal is a very close turnaround, but it might be enough to touch. Not quite. So this is now a scary part for
bro.
NAVI.
Hey,
I stuck in the open, which means the Heretics are going to counter.
I want
them
Team
and
Heretics to win around, chat. I think I can vouch for all of us to say we don't want to see a 4-0. We do not want to see a 4-0, bro.
They're just going to back up, give space, but like you said, this is getting really risky now because they've lost all that distance. And Heretics, 1 minute left. They're going to just like try to push forward. Like you said, someone stalling. Trust me, eventually.
If we see a reverse sweep,
that's still eating into the distance that Heretics would otherwise be able to
Team Heretics reverse sweeps,
Heretics, they don't
I will have Emily just shave off my hair.
Has to be the clutch factor here in this fight. You've got the
whatever's left of it. She can just shave off
with the burst potential of both the Gambit and the Star-Lord. Fate goes down. A well-placed dive coming on through from Tanuki, utilizing the Daredevil passive to just beat Navi.
Oh my God, Jerky again, dude.
Takes down
Jerky.
Jerky,
bro.
But the amount of damage that tick does in the advanced state is more than enough to take the Star-Lord down.
The Galactic Legends have found very little between both teams because the counters are so good in the end. Enzo's superb work to shut that down before it's even started, but it's going to come out on the other side. Naga is going to go in for the fight with the Galactic Legend, and the Royal Flush is used on the other side. Morris into Terra to try and fight this back. Terra wants to be the answer to it and goes into the front line of Enzo. Carves through one Vanguard, looking to try and carve through the other one. As Fate of both worlds now alongside the Let the Devil Out is going to be that this is just AoEs on AoEs. Egad, like it's Fate just fighting. Daredevil's thinking like, what's happened to the vermin of New York? There's a giant fox in my face that's clawing at me. Trust me, now is also bringing out the Heartbreaker. All of these area of effects stacked from top of each other as overtime is hitting at the end of Central Park.
Oh, no, Navi holds this. Navi holds this. Yeah, they had two good ults at the end there. Team Heretics has no ults. They're screwed.
Pushing Heretics all the way back down these steps. It's now a case of trying to get this Captain America off of the objective.
Hey, that's still a really great push. Even though you might have not capped, that was still a really great push all the way to the end.
Justifiable to ban out the Wolverine. That's probably what Enzo
a lot of
is
teams don't even make it all the way
now.
over there. That's a good push.
Because Terra has been on an absolute tear. 2 stunned out in that overtime fight with the last stand into the follow-up charm coming on through from Fate's Spectral Surge. But for Team Heretics, like, it was looking like potentially it could be a full hold. Then it was looking like it could be a hold on second. So the fact that they were able to push it as far as they did through third means that this map is still very much winnable.
Oh, very much so. I mean, it makes sense that Terra is playing like a rabid animal when, trust me, he's locked him up in his attic for however long. So
True.
At least that kind of performance is starting to show. But it's a testament to how good of a duelist he is that you forget that he's just an amazing hit scan player. But he is also very good on playing these kind of characters. And it is funny after you have Enzo calling Frost Mountain and Shikigami Wolverine merchants. And then NAVI goes...
NA will play after EMEA.
You know,
NA starts at 5 p.m. EST,
I mean, yeah, like,
chat.
Terra was one of the OG big bad Wolverines. That people like were so worried about. In fact, back in 2025, like I used to dream of getting to see a Wolverine matchup between Tanuki and Terra. It's not quite the Wolverine versus Wolverine mirror this round, though. Is Tanuki's going to be starting off on the Daredevil, which I think in the long run is going to be much more important for Heretics to understand where exactly Navi's players will be coming from, especially since Beetle's going to be holding up close. The Daredevil's passive doesn't quite reach all the way to spawn, so they wanted to scout out to see if there was a strange TP employed first.
We were thinking after the ultimate charge nerfs that this game would be a little bit slower, but this has been absolute white-knuckle roller coasters with how these fights have been going. I mean, look at this! Just trust me that it's just taking a fight in the streets of New York, head-to-head, able to at least trade out a couple of picks, but be right back is meaning that Tanuki is back into the engagement straight away. He's just literally got back here, and he's immediately throwing hands with Rogue right into square in the face. Trust me, this is a brutal engagement. He's got his strategists keeping him alive. Lord knows how. Is now Terra's the one that's going to go in and swing in full ferocity, now trying to decide on what target is going to hit it. Enzo has found his target though, as the banhammer is going to come through, seeing if Navi have to actually give up a lot of respect and space here as they get the pick onto Jerky.
You know what I think it is, chat? You know what I think it is? You know why I think Navi is actually a better team than Team Heretics? Because Navi, I think I don't want to say it's ego, but I think it's their confidence. Their confidence knowing that they're a really great team. So they start by going aggressive and starting they initiate the fight and set the tempo, and most of the team fights are in their tempo. It's never what the other team wants to do. So like the enemy team against NAVI always has to react, and never set their own tempo. They're always on the back foot. They're always defending themselves. NAVI, they just run in. But when you see moments when Team Heretics go aggressive and go forward, they do win those team fights. I think just they need to play more confidently and more aggressive.
He gets the portal through. The body block from Beetle means that Terra's not able to get on top of the Strange and take him down. Cosmic Ion Amplifier boosts up the damage potential of that Galactic Legend. They try to make her play. Trust me looks for the stun out up into the sky, but enough got through.
Wow.
The Team Heretics are able to pull off the
stabilize. Hey, they're defending this, bro. They're defending this.
Wait, what's Jerky doing?
He's in the back line. He's fighting his own demons here, but he's actually taken out. That might have been a bit of an overstep.
Yo, Jerky!
This was done.
Jerky, you're a great player, but you ain't gonna 1v6 Team Heretics. What are we doing, brother?
He was fighting the back line. I think like for NAVI here, it was a really good like risk to take if you knock out the strategist coming through from Heretics, because not a lot of you actually went down and you have Freedom Charge Heartbreaker. You can just play for a very fast fight in this next engagement when Heretics don't have their backline back, which is exactly what they're doing. Except this time Rajara has to go much deeper into Team Heretics' side with the Freedom Charge, just push the rocket off position. Huge last stand comes on through from Terra though, and that should be enough to be able to close out this tick.
I mean, it's great work. Like, it was just a
Jerky
like,
making it interesting on purpose.
Timing, and then hearing a Galactic Legend scream from the second point. But Jerky was spending so much time there. He was the one that actually pushed up a hold on like people need me, and went to go fight the Strange that was going for the pottle on the defense. Heretics are going to be like, okay, get your breath. We need to really pace ourselves in this best of 7. But it's also a case of like, we've got a good amount of time on that defense, more so than we were probably earned, because NAVI had such a strong attacking side. Now Heretics want to go in for a very fast offense on this defense. Terra might be pulling Enzo out of position here, but there's enough healing coming in from Oasis and Alex that Enzo is going to try and survive. Beetle, however, doesn't get the love. He doesn't get the focus. Spirit back means that Beetle is going to be in this engagement soon, and Fate, with the melee sort of focus, able to go for that fight. But as soon as
yeah, that teleport saved him, man.
Straight out of there.
That got real close, but level 1 Crook should mean that this
you
next
see
fight
how
is
always
not
aggressive
NAVI
is, though, Chad? They're always aggressive.
Down, thanks to some help coming on through from the Banhammer, though, and Heretics have actually been able to hold their position. Level 1 Crook gets dealt with. There was no Galactic Legend to take advantage of the Gambit ultimate, and Heretics live it and now get to actually close up to Navi's spawn. No Heartbreaker, no Galactic Legends try to deter them.
If you cannot target ban anyone on NAVI, bro, because if you target ban Terra, then you're gonna leave Jerky open with, like, you know, Daredevil. You're gonna leave Fate open with, and you're gonna leave Fate and level 1 Crook open with, like, let's say Elsa, not Elsa, the supports that they like. Gambit.
Stuck in between. Naga's now going to come out with a Galactic Legend, but the rest of his teammates starting to fall apart. The rest of NAVI on this defense.
I don't really think you can ban out. That's why I keep saying
the Rogue is about to leave
flexibility, chat. Having one champion
on this Rogue to just be an absolute
there's people who are out there who are like, oh, I only play one character, bro. That's not good. You can have a favorite character, don't get me wrong, and play that favorite character, but you have to be very flexible when it comes to competitive play, because if they ban your one trick and you're useless.
They get the first pick. Rajar has fallen lost.
Oh, that was a big ult though.
Beetle tries to come over with the Freedom Charge, just buying stall opportunity for Heretics. Pharaoh grab, but the Captain America will still be able to survive as Heretics have 4 ultimates.
I like playing Bucky, chat, but I'm not a one-trick Bucky.
You might see them all grabbed away though if they even get the opportunity to touch.
I have a lot of lords. I have almost a lot of champions.
Sean comes on through from Fate as well as Heretics utilizing the Cosmic Amplifier, but it gets broken early.
What's that saying? Shit, I always say it, but I always forget it.
Let the Devil out. Rajara peels the team. Fate comes on through with the
Trick of Trades, Master of None or something. I don't fucking know.
It's Jeff, which trust me is going to now start to put pressure on
what is it called?
With the Heartbreaker fully in play. Heretics
Jack of all trades, Master of None. Yeah, I don't know.
The BRB, but what's the next turn for them? They've lost the Jeff. Oasis got tapped by the Heartbreaker. Did not have the ult ready to bail the team.
Okay, 2 minutes. Team Heretics can't full hold this, bro. The third phase. Team Heretics can still get this.
And you've also got Heretics.
Yeah, why put all your eggs in one basket, chat? Spread them out, bro. Come on. There was no reason why you shouldn't just spread it.
Into the Kamiho, into the Heartbreaker. Any more visual effects? Yes, please. As Heretics now wanting to try and be a bit more aggressive, take this bridge on the high ground as a way to set up, knowing that NAVI are going to be pretty low on the ultimate charge. They have an advantage here potentially. It maybe a chance for Tanuki actually to go in onto the backline.
Come on, oh, Tanuki!
Down to the ground from Terra.
Tanuki!
Looking for the fight onto Trust Me that's now playing in the corridor. He's trying to reset with the rest of his team. And Heretics hold on. Built up some good ultimates in that time that NAVI have zilch.
Oh, Jerky's actually going to swap onto that Psylocke here, which means pulling a lot more attention into all of these different avenues of approach so that Heretics can't
1 minute, chat. 1 minute.
Lane,
1 minute. This is a good defense, bro. Good defense. And they have almost 5 ults. Almost 6 if you count halfway to your ult.
Though, Bubble coming on out from Enza with that Unicorn Shield, cutting off line of sight onto Terra, who's been so problematic for Heretics to deal with. That's probably actually going to close out this fight. NAVI just want to utilize the tail end of it to build up ultimate economy.
Well, they're actually going to use the Banhammer too. Like, they're building up so much ult charge that they're going to have plenty to work with. Terra Last Stand is going to be back into the fight fairly soon, but Jerky with that switch over to Psylocke is going to have a Dance of the Butterflies fairly soon. But this fight is done. It feels like NAVI sort of overstayed with how much they were sort of in limbo on that fight, and there's not much time to work with. 20 seconds, you might have to go for a portal play, but I don't think you're going to have that luxury. In fact, it's going to be close distance enough to just try and leap in, but Tanuki's getting all of this information.
This is going to be crazy. Team Heretics has 5 ults, every single ult, but NAVI is almost going to have 5 ults too, chat. This is going to be an ult fiesta. This is going to be who can use their ults better. Who has the better ult economy?
No fighting, no eliminations, just base presence on the objective so they lose a little bit of distance. Terra with a huge grab off onto Enzo, resets the Banhammer charge. Now he turns his attention onto the rest of the stall potential coming on through from Heretics. But NAVI, they're down that engagement trump card. They don't have the Gambit ult to engage off onto. Oasis comes on through with the it's Jeff. Someone's got to get on point to contest this.
I don't know what they just Jeff
did. Amplify, Galactic Legend, Kumeho Unleashed comes on through from Fate, but you've already lost both your Gambit as well as your White Fox.
All the ults are going off, chat. All the ults are going off. Who's going to win? Who is going to win? No ults for Team Heretics. NAVI has no ults as well. This is the neutral fight. Who can win the neutral fight?
Coming on through. Kirk swapped over to the Doctor Strange, trying to cast the portal in time. NAVI's players, they've lost so many of them, but it's just in time. Kirk's able to get through. That allows Fate to teleport. Now you're looking at
Team Heretics! We got ourselves a game! We got ourselves a game!
Difference, but Heretics just dig it out from a map that they've not won on. They decide that this is the pick to bring it back, and it does exactly that. NAVI
they actually did it.
Loss of a map
nice.
That means that their choice is coming up. The map pool resets again. Domination, Convoy, or Convergence. They all have a good go at it. And Tanuki really making the Daredevil work nicely here. It was just overall a good performance from Heretics, but good God, Moxie, that was a blessing to cast with just how brutal it was.
Terra, 17 finals, trust me, 22. Oh, jerky. No. You are not gonna try to hide that from me, bro. Jerky. 24 and 14, 3 finals? Jerky, you're better than that, bro. What is that? What is that, bro? Fate and level 1 Crook, 46,000 healing, 46,000 healing. Jesus. 30,000 by the other team's supports. I mean, this team did a lot more damage, obviously. But, like, jeez, man.
Smikion amplified Galactic Legend to overcome the heal potential of the Kumeho Unleashed, because that only gives you the healing to players who are actually in the AoE. Starlord was outside of it.
There's so much more to come in this best.
Wait, is that true?
Fruition, like, forcing to a big brawl.
Oh, that's 30. That's 31 like eliminations. He only had 8 kills. I thought you said Oasis, the Jeff player, had 31 kills. I was about to say, what in tarnation?
There were so many fights, just like.
We're going on a break again, chat. Put J3 in Navi? Hell no, chat, bro.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Listen, I know that Jerky is a better player than me, chat. Listen, Jerky playing his worst is still gonna be like my best. Well, maybe my average. No, but ooh. Yeah, we all have bad games. Chat, it's normal, bro. No one can play. No one is perfect. Unless your name is J3. But, like, no one is perfect. Everyone has bad games. Hey, greetings from Greece. You make you make this tournament watch more good and fun. Take care. Keep it up. Hey, WW. I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Yo, Mike. What's your name? Mike Literus? I appreciate the massive 2 months. J3, who do you think is the best DPS player in the tournament? Best DPS player in the tournament? Oh, it's probably gonna be J3. Oh, you said in the tournament. It's a hard question. I don't know. I think there's a lot of good DPS players, man. I would say Terra, but I mean, there's Terra, there's Sparker. I mean, Tanuki. I mean, there's a lot. Naga is really good. I mean, I think Rymazing is also really good, but they don't put Rymazing on DPS. I just think there's Energy. Energy is a really good DPS player. You sure? I mean, there's a lot of good DPS players out there, bro. I don't know who I could think of as like the best of the best. Yeah, Redis, the Lena's really good. I mean, chat, I don't know, bro. There's a lot of good DPS players.
It's not over yet. Heretics bring us to a map number 4.
Melophobia's insane.
They're able to seize Central Park with the help of New York.
Can't believe I forgot that.
Devil. But they are now heading to Spice as they have to deal with the Museum of Contemplation, Ryan.
Oh, I love just random Tim Curry shout-outs, you know? But yeah, I think also 38k damage that the Daredevil did from Tanuki is a heck of a performance. But this is like a good map to see because Heretics...
Hey, appreciate it, Ultraman.
NAVI have picked this. They've won it 4 times, lost it once to 5
Nectar.
sprays.
Nectar's a great Psylocke player as well. Yeah, that's another good one.
This has also been a good map for Heretics. 3 and 0, actually. So this is one of those areas that, like, the pace that Heretics have been playing at and how they play at pace on Museum means that this is going to be some of the like fastest off the wall Marvel rivals.
Virtus Pro. I mean, Virtus Pro has like a lot of great players.
And we love to see that when we've got players like Terra on that Wolverine, like Tanuki sometimes on that Daredevil. Enzo's been playing a lot of that.
Speedery's a really great player as well. Yeah, there's chat. Everyone.
Yeah, and I mean,
we didn't mention anyone.
Probably wanting to take Team Heretics here because the first time that they matched up, it was like a really good like showing on the side of NAVI being able to just walk through a lot of teams on Museum of Contemplation, having things like that Venom, although they haven't really been playing a lot of that Venom. The dive from this team has mostly been coming on through from Trust Me on this Rogue, who's looking with the amount of mobility that he's playing her with, like it is a Venom, just like go in, go out, bully a flyer, bully a backline. I've got my team up with my Gambit, I've got my team behind me to be able to keep me stabilized. I think, like, honestly, leading a little bit later on into the series, if Heretics are going to continue taking out the Elsa as opposed to the Gambit, you're really going to have to start looking at what exactly that Gambit is doing, not just for the ultimate economy, but also for things like that Rogue in neutral, where if Trust Me is getting a hold of people, the rest of NAVI have enough damage to be able to follow up and find the pick.
It's the joy of this season, Ryan. It's not just what's good, it's just
I
what
didn't even know they were going to do that, but great job by them. What is it? What else is it on the other stuff?
This season has made a rogue believer out of all of us, in no small part due to the fact that we have so many amazing players of it.
Oh, for sure. And it's just if you can enable some Vanguards to just do outrageous amounts of damage,
60.
whether it's Strange with the Invisible Woman combination, whether it's Rogue with Gambit, you're going to do it. And I think we're seeing a lot of like Heartbreaker tied in with the Kamiho ultimates from White Fox. Same with like Let the Devil Out. Just if it's an AoE ultimate, stack them on top of each other and just make it miserable for anybody that's trying to fight in the middle of it. It's some really good, straightforward ideas for Navi to be working with. For Heretics, they certainly have the gusto to be able to go in and brawl through these despite being down a number or two. It makes for some like exciting stuff to watch. But Museum, they're going to be like, okay, we can deal with this as a map. It's been decent for us. It's just that Navi have been lights out on it since that Fire Strays loss.
First time chatting, just wondering if you have a problem about posting clips of the stream. What, my stream?
We've mentioned it before as to why teams often
clip my stream, post it wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for the attack, you can actually like see the composition that the defense is on, go back to the drawing board without losing a fight and pick a composition that perfectly counters it, as opposed to the defense where it's like no coincidence that all of these teams on that Convoy defenses, a lot of the time, the comp that they play on first, they swap off to when we go into second and third.
I mean,
because
are you talking about posting my clips somewhere else? I mean, don't be one of those clip channels that clip stuff and then don't give credit to the actual streamers, bro. Don't do that. You gotta give credit where it's due, bro.
That you're impacted and you run out of.
And I'm not just talking about me. Talking about like a lot of them, a lot of channels do that.
They have one guy who.
Can I screenshot you, print it out, and put it on my wall? Yeah, why not?
We try have very quick turnaround.
It's not the craziest thing I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys seen Chocolate in my chat, but Chocolate took a picture of my cosplays and put it on a body pillow. So apparently there's a Jay3 body pillow out there.
We've seen the adaptations of banning out the Elsa. They've really just committed to removing that away from Terra at this point. But Team Heretics, we're onto a Convoy map. They're going to be looking for something a little bit more defensively first, as they're going to be forced onto that defense. What would you like to see from them?
Ooh, I mean, probably more Wolverine. It's not a bad map for them at all, and it's just going to be Terra looking to sort of isolate these targets. The more impressive thing is not only just the damage that he's doing or how ferocious he looks on Wolverine, it's that he is synergizing very well with his new team of Navi, right? It seems that they're sort of following the calls. The dives are in good positions, and really it's more of a case of like they adjusted pretty decently to the fact that
I mean, to be honest, like, listen, can I take all your VODs, clip them, upload them to YouTube, and profit off your labor? Hey, dude, listen.
Deadpool, Vanguard, Daredevil banned out towards the
it's a double-edged sword. People who take other people's content and repost them, or even you, chat. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of people who say, hey man, like, not just to me. I'm like, hey man, I can't sub to you. I love your content. I wish I could support you. There's a lot of ways you could support people, bro. Clipping, if you clip something that's funny and post it online or post it to Reddit or Twitter or whatever, you're spreading the name of the creator that you like. That's a form of, like, you know, appreciation and supporting your favorite streamer, or telling people about the stream, or liking a content creator's post, or watching their videos, or following them. Like, that's a form of support to the content creators. If you are watching a content creator and they're not happy that you're like just watching their stream and they're like, hey, you're not supporting me, bro, you're not subbing to me, sub right now, you shouldn't probably watch those people.
Overextend, overstaying your welcome with like people wanting basically on the Captain America or the Venom to on Convoy go into the backline or hit the objective itself, while the rest of the team
I don't cosplay as Emma Frost. Emma Frost is already out. I only cosplay new characters, like whatever the new character will
like
be.
The White Fox, which Fate has been looking so good on.
Looks like we have a ready up from Heretics, so we'll be heading into the game very shortly. But Moxie brings up a good point here, Ryan. The White Fox has been looking really good, and we honestly have seen it was very close to a full.
Jay doesn't know that I record his streams and I put them on the hub for profit. Make sure you put the VOD of Navi versus Virtus Pro up there. That's a really good one. That's a flarking.
Symbiotic shenanigans into pro play. We've got two
Virtus Pro
innovators coming in here, being forced to 1v1 each other in the backline.
So what Tetcher is saying as we get into this next map is Tanuki Jeff, question mark?
I did have a like White Fox like mask.
I was gonna hope that we could like switch into game and just take him fully out of context before he can answer back. But I think it is more of the case of like how good the White Fox looks, Moxie, when it is involved in these like brawly competitions. The problem, however, the weakness is you have that duration of that melee mode where you can claw your way into some of these fights. Once that drops, you are very susceptible. So there's no surprise that we have seen Fate just teleport out every time that sort of presence runs out.
Yeah, well, it will be a continuation of the Elsa Bloodstone, as it's not going to be Tanuki teasing us with the jab. At the moment, it's Rajara, but that will go away. This is tournament server. All of our players have champion portraits looking very pretty. As Vanguard Deadpool continues to be this thing that Team Heretics have under scrutiny once again.
I am not trying to counter-predict anyone. Oh, wait, this is very interesting. They didn't save the Gambit. Team Heretics banned the tank Deadpool and also saved the tank Deadpool. It's a one-sided Deadpool.
It's a bit of what Navi was trying to do a little bit earlier on Yggdrasil's path, and it made a pretty
also I really do do hope that Team Heretics win this, because I really want
try and make it a one-sided
game 5 or 6 or even 7.
Going to potentially hover over to Jeff here, which means that like Oasis is, oh no, the character that I've been almost exclusively on is banned out.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a really good shout coming on through from the side of Navi. Oasis's Jeff has been very detrimental for a lot of teams, plus being able to secure that Vanguard Deadpool means that you get the team up with the Jeff as well. But it does take us now back to that coin flip. So Navi, the last time that this happened, they banned out the Rogue to make it a little bit easier for their Gambit to find more value. Do they
they banned Oasis's Jeff. Oh my god, you have a Jeff ban, chat. You have a Jeff ban. Also, they were lucky enough to save the Gambit as their second save, so Team Heretics does have the Gambit. And also the one-sided tank Deadpool.
We're going to go for something that has a really good ult combo with it.
It's whether or not, like, if Heretics want to run the triple strategist, like, the Star-Lord as a solo duelist would be really nice for them. So it sort of takes out that option. It isn't going to be a one-sided Invisible Woman. It is just more Navi protecting it for themselves to give something to work alongside, because the backlines have been hit relatively hard from Navi onto Heretics, but Heretics have gone for everything other than strategists to ban out.
Jay, you're skipping Vanguard, like crazy.
Daredevil, and the Elsa.
Am I lagging?
Is it going to be a strategist? No, it's
I shouldn't be lagging.
Captain America banned out, which means that Rajaro's not going to have access to the cap.
Yeah, still like potential.
Yeah, my internet's pretty good.
You want to be able to play
it's a nice
shiny
sunshine day outside, so there should be no
since Trust Me was being pushed off of both Vanguard Deadpool as well as Rogue in that instance. But then you have things like the Groot open, and also Navi have the Mantis. So you don't really want to force them down that Vanguard line, because it will just sort of empower them a little bit more. As Navi will be starting off on the attack, Heretics the defense. They'll get the one-sided cap on the side of Beetle, and he's a player who's been
What's my internet speed? I have 2.5 gigs up and down.
Back in 2025, but I really want to look at Tanuki getting to play the Rogue as well. Heretics going for a triple Vanguard outlook with potentially a solo Wolverine duelist, really wanting to put the pressure on Navi in terms of frontline stall out.
Naga being on the Wolverine instead, actually. Yeah, we saw Tanuki playing a little bit of it. I think it was on Domination earlier against Shikigami on Hell's Heaven. So we have seen it like today, and it makes sense. He's like very melee centric in the duelist.
We need 9 games now, so Jay can hit at least 15 hours of stream. Brother, I did 18 hours yesterday.
The backlines, two of the strongest strategists, and Beetle immediately just sees Navi almost fairly leap.
Okay, let's get this, chat. Let's get this. Let's get this.
Switched over to the White Fox already, expecting more of this scrappy gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, that charm is going to be brutal too, since it's in a straight line. It catches multiple players. That's something Oasis wants to capitalize on with the Invis, but Faye will be able to capitalize on it too. So what we have is a race between who can get these strategist ultimates online. Enzo will beat them all to it, though. He's already 85% to the banhammer. We'll probably actually have it up by the time I finish this sentence and slam it down almost instantly when Navi decides to try and make inroads around this corner. As Heretics, without that Daredevil, they have to scout physically out where the solid wraparound could be.
Naga's taking a good amount of damage from these sight lines. Has to dash out in order to go in, but Enzo, there's the leap in. Feral Leap maybe going to follow with Naga. Trying to find the right targets, but he's just slashing right into the shield.
Ooh, Naga taking over Terra, bro. I need to learn Wolverine, chat. I need to learn
with
Wolverine.
The Maelstrom and charge up another one in pretty decent time. Beetle, it's his second elimination against him, and Team Heretics' defense is starting to whittle down. Navi held on pretty well in the end of the invisible boundary, and both sides means that Navi are able to hold their ground, and Heretics players down, trying to make something of this. They lose Alex as a Heartbreaker is going to be used from Tanuki, and Oasis looking to try to
Oasis on the support getting the kill. But I think they lost the fight anyways.
Going to go and reset, seeing that Navi is starting to move up.
Yeah, Oasis. You see Oasis all the way over there standing still?
If they use Alex's ult as an opener, Rujaro gets to use the Eye of Agamotto. Yeah, they're scouting Eye. They're trying to work out where exactly this invisible woman could
They're trying to find the invisible woman. You gotta be quiet, chat. Gotta be quiet.
Navi have this Gambit ult mirror too. There's the Raging Road flush. Rujaro with the Eye of Agamotto knows he doesn't have to worry about the Purify, which is why they're putting so much pressure on the Strange with the Wolverine getting that Feral grab. It's going to be an equalizer from level 1 Crook. Jerky with a late dance of the
okay, Jerky. Hey, he was doing questionable last game, but at least he's doing a lot better here.
Stunned into position by the Wolf with that last
Jerky on Psylocke is disgusting. I think Jerky has like one. That's his best character, isn't it?
No Strange portal, no contest. First checkpoint picked up.
Able to move on forward. Heads up play from Jerky with the Dance to Butterflies to find 2, and Heretics a little bit more scrambly in their approach, losing Beetle a couple of times and then just having to go for that final hold on the first checkpoint.
I love Psylocke. I love Psylocke. I've been saying for the past season, chat, I need to do my season tier list, but I've been saying for the whole season, Psylocke is, I think, one of the best characters right now.
Good swap too. Means that you'll be able to have the passive radar sense, working out where Trust Me is, relaying that to your backline so they're not in a position to get jumped on, and you can set up a very fast dive hit onto Navi's team to take away all this momentum. Psylocke in the backline does get taken down, but you've already done your job, right? You've already stopped all of the momentum coming on through from Navi. You've given Oasis opportunity too to build up to this invisible boundary, so when Navi uses Heartbreaker, it's not a one-sided fight. Oasis gets the opportunity to use the ult, and Heretics hold their ground.
I'm a little bit worried though, because you have got this Eye of Agamotto in hands for Rujaro. It's been in hands for quite some time, so Heretics is going to be aware of it. You got the Banhammer used from Enzo, and Oasis has cleaved his way to 2 picks. Nicely done, as the Heartbreaker from Trust Me is going to find very little. That invisible boundary didn't even need to be used.
That's huge. Now you have it to be able to try and match up with Navi's next turn. Fate will have the Kumiho unleashed. You have to worry about Dance of the Butterflies though on the side of Navi, since if you don't manage to actually like brawl onto these players taking damage, you can't actually get those heals off to self-sustain the White Fox's form, and Psylocke, you don't actually get to damage her in her ultimate. So everyone from Navi's trying to work out where exactly this Psylocke could be. Are they stacked up enough to be able to let Fate survive?
Leaping in is Terra. He's not really been the same level of Terra, I think, on Central Park, but now that we're getting into these closer quarters, he might be able to pull out picks. It's now going to switch over towards the Psylocke with the Dance.
I don't think they got any picks with that.
They switched over to the Star-Lord, has a Galactic Legend, very close to available. Rujaro still holding on to an Eye of Agamotto.
That's another solid pick as well, if you guys are good with him. Star-Lord's really good this season too, especially with the Gambit.
Up top this little hill. He's trying to keep an eye on where Tanuki is playing from, who's getting this information as the Daredevil. Has to try and find a way to dive in as it's getting very close to second.
I mean, invisible boundaries there for Oasis, but Navi have 2 ways to punish it. They'll use Galactic Legend to force out the Freedom Charge. Oasis will solve the ultimate because of the last stand coming on through from Terra. Rujaro with the Eye of Agamotto finds the connection onto Tanuki.
Wait. Why would you ult a ulting Captain America? You ain't gonna get him.
Psylocke, there's the ultimate. Now that you have more of a Vanguard anchor presence on the objective itself, that's what Oasis was waiting for.
I think Team Heretics is doing a great job right now.
But Navi just disengaged it. They've got to let the devil out that they have to deal with. Everyone
I really do like how aggressive Team Heretics is looking though. Like I said last game, chat, I think you have to be aggressive. If you're not
Both these teams
if you're not setting the tempo, you're always going to play in the enemy team's tempo, and you're always going to be on the back foot, and you're probably going to lose.
Perfection, really playing these mind games, using it late rather
than you got to make the enemy, you got to make the other team react, not you react to what they're doing.
As the push comes through again, off of the back of this royal flush.
Because NAVI does a great job at that, bro. NAVI does a great job at going aggressive and setting the tempo.
Ultimate's not being available. Naga was very
and making like just
demanding
the space.
For being able to stall out the objective, as it isn't going to count. For
Will you be live for another 6 hours? Probably.
Used on the overside now as the defense is going to swing out.
It depends on how long the watch party is.
With the dancing butterflies, it's going to be
feel like so, yeah.
nicely with it. The leap in is instantly used. There goes Terra, Jerky, Fate, Rajaro, all dropping down to the ex-teammate of Naga. It's only 15
they got to
seconds
do a
left. It has to be the
TP,
teleport
and
play.
Team Heretics has 3, almost 4 ults.
But they know they're not going to reach it. They're fighting
there's
on the objective.
There's no way Team Heretics loses this.
For Fate, but he's leaping in as the White Fox. Last stand might be enough to pull these defenders off of the point.
Invisible boundaries there for Oasis. And
oh my god, don't C9, don't C9, don't C9, don't C9, don't C9.
Dodges the last stand coming through from Terra, but that ultimate is about to drop. Navi, though, they have no sustainability.
Yeah, it's GR chat, GR.
Yep. Through late on the side of Beetle. Crooks taking down the Psylocke. Jerky, a last-ditch effort with the Galactic Legend.
GR,
there's no one else
Team Heretics can tie this up.
Be able to hold Navi off at the pass.
Remember yesterday? Yesterday, these teams fought each other. Like NAVI rolled them 3-0.
You're probably going like, why
Team
did
Heretics,
use it? It's
they're doing a much better job today.
Then it's just lost stand.
Yes, this is the grand finals for EMEA.
Taking him down, dropping the boundary early, and allowing NAVI more ultimates to be able to push the fight, push that checkpoint before Heretics can regroup. Using Beetle's Freedom Charge is absolutely the right call, and it allows Heretics to stabilize. That invisible boundary from Oasis stays standing. They get to regroup. They get to push onto NAVI before they get the opportunity to come through with that Gambit ultimate to set the wheels in motion, and off of the back of how close their respawns are, funnel players back into the fight to be able to complete the hold.
Heads up play from both sides. I really like some of the more like aggressive ultimates that we saw at Jerky over on the Psylocke. And just like you said, just how these teams are playing around their royal flush. Alex brings it out in perfect time. And it's also like with Oasis, if he goes for that invisible boundary where he doesn't have those vanguards in front of him.
Grand finals is a best of 7, not best of 5.
That invisible boundary drops. He needed his little bodyguards.
Hey, quick question. This is my first time here, and I saw NAVI ban Cap. Why is Beetle on Cap? So, when you ban, this is not your...
To this, where it is a lot more.
This is not your competitive bans that you get in your ranked games. This is tournament bans. So when you ban Team Heretics banned
like brawl tempo.
Captain America, that means NAVI cannot play Captain America, but Team Heretics can still play Captain America. When you ban a character, it's not for both teams; it's for the other team. And you also have 2 saves. The saves you can use to protect the character from getting banned, but you cannot save a character that the other team already banned. If that makes any sense.
Catches the Cap late, knows that there's still one person behind, so has to go clear them out too.
A dive is going to be the name on the cards for Heretics and Navi. Triple strategist with Jerky playing Invisible Woman, which is something that we have started to see a little bit more. Terra, the solo duelist, is going to have a lot of help when it comes to the royal flush. The Galactic
Why does the team neither use Gambit Loki when it's open for them?
And both of them building them up in tandem. Might be able to actually find Beetle overextended a little bit on this attacking side.
Inviswoman is still broken. Usually Inviswoman is like banned, but it's probably something that they like to practice with or scrim with.
Keep an eye on where Tanuki is, as whilst these battles are going forwards and backwards. It provided a little bit of a pocket of window for Tanuki to go for a fight. Doesn't get much, but Terra pretty almost close to having Galactic Legend.
Yeah, Beetle's getting a lot of space, but not a lot of heals for the backline since the Captain America is out of line of sight in a lot of these engagements, especially with Rajara just holding the front line with the shield, blocking off the line of sight. So Jerky will have the invisible boundary. Oasis at the same time just manages to get the equalize. We've got the Dance of the Butterflies the moment that it drops, if they actually need it, because they're still getting the eliminations once the boundary has fallen. Second cast means that you have later sustainability, and Navi turn their attention of just dropping on the point to stall it out for as long as possible. We're about to have an absolute alt dump fight coming on through. The Heretics, they have to be hyper aware. In the game of rock, paper, scissors, Royal Flush plus Galactic Legend beats Royal Flush alone.
The portal play is going to be the approach. The leap in is going to be the Rogue is first out to go for this fight. And there it is, the Galactic Legend starting through the skies. You've got the Psylocke on the ground from Naga going in with the Dance of the Butterflies. The Beetle going in for this fight. Finds himself two. Both of the strategists go down. And now you've got the Eye of Agamotto Heartbreaker combination. It hits onto 3 with the stun.
2-1 Navi, yeah.
Surviving only a certain amount. It's the Freedom Charge for Beetle. It does so much to keep both the players alive. Tanuki, however,
I want Team Heretics to win, chat. I want to see a tie series, bro.
Banhammer and Terra trying to see if he can sort of flip the spawns a little bit. As Heretics now.
Come on, guys. Come on.
This across the point. You've got the Camille that's going to be used to try and stall this out. But Terra goes down.
Yeah, bro.
Aggress. It's still.
I will keep saying this every time I see it, bro. I think White Fox is a great character. She has a very good neutral, but her ult is one of the worst ults I've ever seen in the game, bro. Her ult is straight up butt cheeks. It's basically, you pop your ult, you're basically a 900 HP ult charge that people are just going to farm off of.
Disposal.
It's like one of the worst ults. Like, Fate is a really good support player, but I just think the character is just butt.
Out if Navi try to go for an early aggressive push and deplete time from Heretics' space. We've got a little bit of a brawl stack up coming on through us. I think they all understand we have to get Jerky's invisible boundary up online as quickly as possible. But Banhammer from Enzo is just making it that much more difficult. And Ryan, at the moment, no one from Navi is actually on the objective. The whole time that this fight happens, it's off of the point and it's slowly just moving
The
forward.
only time I could ever see White Fox ult being really good is that it's an overtime situation. People have to stay on the cart, or you have to stay on the cart. It's better if you're defense, because if the offense team has to stay in the cart and your defense and you pop your ult and you're slamming the cart repeatedly and they can't get off the cart because if they do, they C9. That's like the only time I would ever see that ult being good.
Of life and going down means that they can reset. Their ultimate's fairly close to being available too. It has to be a big ultimate from Jerky, I think, to keep this fight going. Just be very quickly closing up this distance in this fight. Naga, though, he has got the Dance of the Butterflies. You also have
this is why you're not a pro.
The visible boundary used aggressively from
Oasis. No, don't say that.
Doesn't catch up to anything from Rojaro. He might meet his
I'm so hurt, man.
The devil out and the Dance of the Butterflies is going to be used. This stall, Navi are running out of options to be
Too bad I think streaming is much better than pro play, but oh well.
They do lose Naga, however. Beetle just holding on.
My life is ruined, chat.
In case they need it, they need a little bit more sustenance to try
and
push
this
towards the end of the map. Fate, though, Kamiho is going to stall this out a little bit more. There's the Freedom Charge to try and match it. Terra could be big, though, coming back with the last stand. That's pretty much all that's going to be available from Navi when it comes to these ultimates. They need to find the eliminations, but it's
come on, Team Heretics. You guys got this, bro. You guys got this.
There's the Banhammer. The leap in is going to come through.
Oh, Terra. Okay.
The last stand providing something for Navi. It might be a disengage, but you got Enzo that's in the thick of it. Nobody else from Heretics is nearby, and somehow, some way, Navi have held on Moxie.
That's enough. The last stand coming on through from Terror, the sustainability as well from Fate and level 1 Crook in just base neutral. Crook being so hard for Heretics to be able to get on top of. Just playing. Royal Flush does not require line of sight, so he can play behind the wall of third and give it all to his
I love level 1 Crooks.
Heretics
like, look at him, chat. Level 1 Crook looks like he's a demon.
You
can't even see his eyes. It's like one of those
early point of contact comes on through from Navi.
Anime episodes where like he starts transforming. Let the devil out, bro.
Ultimate economy and time bank. So when we get into the OT desperation play,
oh come on, Team Heretics, bro! You guys are fumbling the bag.
To beat the closer respawns. Late stagger too onto Tanuki, really bleeding through that one as Navi are going to close up the distance. Work out if Team Heretics are going for a strange TP and try to counterplay it.
Doesn't look like it. Nobody has switched over just yet. See if Tanuki can actually go in for a flank to get some more information. Enzo is just trying to actually go for this very aggressive in-your-face approach. Navi holding onto the bus, onto this high ground. It's just shy of the second checkpoint.
What is
if Navi win this, they go on to match point. And Heretics, see if they can scramble as overtime is about to hit. Watching it from Beetle's POV, trying to go for the dash, to go for a touch, to smush any players from Navi that are trying to fight. But this invisible
chat, last fight.
Hold on here. You've got the Psylocke ultimate paired up with the Daredevil. More Venn diagrams etched onto the ground as a way.
No one's dying, bro. Ults are popping. No one's dying.
Rajara comes in with a stun. It goes on to Enzo, but he's eliminated.
Oh, yo, wait a minute. Oh, no. Strange died first.
Held it on very nicely. It's going to provide some more space and time. He goes for the pick on to
no. Navi won.
Players from Heretics are dropping. Everybody gets off the point. And Navi hold on with a stalwart defense.
3-1 right now, chat. 3-1.
So
damn,
close.
Bro. Team Heretics had it, man.
A little bit too far away from that finish line.
Yet
again, like Terra's Wolverine has been such a difference maker in terms of those clutch fights. Also, Clutch Eye of Agamotto coming on through, being able to land onto Enzo so that you stun up the Vanguard Deadpool. You don't get the opportunity of having that additional damage coming on through from the Banhammer, as well as sustainability.
That's crazy,
for the Deadpool
That is
to keep drawing out that fight for a little bit more. As it came down to the wire, truly it did, Ryan. Both teams.
Oh my, dude, they skipped this really fast. That's a pretty even matchup, bro. Pretty even matchup. Both of the supports on Navi healed 38,000, 37,500. Terra 23 and 8, 12 final hits. Tanuki though, Tanuki and Naga both together, 12 and 11 final hits.
Bit more.
A lot closer. Heretics do have another choice of map. It has to be away from Convoy, so convergence or domination.
They have to hide Jerky on support. He's a liability. Whoa! Jerky's not a liability. Okay, I think they're gonna go on a break, chat. So feels bad, man. Chat, bathroom break. Get your water, get your popcorn, get whichever you need. Hopefully Team Heretics wins so we can continue. But don't worry, if Navi does win, chat, we'll go do some ranked games or some stuff, and then we have the NA Grand Finals as well. Yeah, gonna be a lot of fun, chat. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Watch out, they're headed our way. Don't mess with the
Where's the popcorn?
Spider-Man.
Sadly, I did not go get popcorn, man. I wish I did. Everyone knows that the, what do you call it? Kettle corn popcorn is the best. I just don't have any. Okay, I gotta go to the bathroom, chat. Give me a second. YouTube chat. Twitch chat. I love you guys. What's up? No. Oh, no.
The hunt is on. 1,000 gods!
Which is scarier? Do we have level 1 Crook on the Gambit, Remy LeBeau, Or do we in fact have Terror on the Wolverine, giving us a little shout, a little run back all the way to Season 0? Let's start with Moxie. Discuss.
Yeah, I mean, that Wolverine is very problematic, and I think if you're Team Heretics, like, you already justified a Wolverine ban previously against Frost Mountain. There is reason, I think, for, like, do we want to just remove the Wolverine? Because there's multiple fights now that Terror's pick of that duelist has proved problematic to the point that they're losing fights. Like, it's aggressive, it's really good potential at just, like, putting pressure on your Vanguard, having to worry about the Pharaoh grabs as well, but also the peel potential. Like,
that
we've
would be
talked
cute,
about
yeah.
this. Wolverine does not have to be played for first turn. You can just, like, put him on your back line, understand that eventually if an attacking team has to walk into your team, they've got to make a play. If they don't, everyone just sort of sits there being like, well, what is happening is time is burning down, so the defense will be happy, and the attack will be out of one really good resource.
Ryan, it looks like our next map, while we are going to have a little bit of a longer wait while the teams get a quick break so that they are fully recovered for it, but we know
this is
it is the
this is interesting.
Gala. We are heading back to the island of Krakoa.
Yeah,
this is interesting because
this is no like shade at Navi, but I think it was them that asked for like just a quick 5-minute break. If I'm Heretics, I'm going like, we've played 9 maps of Marvel Rivals today. Let's just keep this train going at this point. Navi's like, no, we're too tired. We've played 4. It's been a very long day for us.
I'm wondering why Team Heretics took Navi to Krakoa, because Navi won the first Koth 2-0.
They're able to clamber it back. It could be things starting to break apart. It pretty much exclusively forces it to be Convergence as that final map, which is a little bit of an area that Heretics might not be as comfortable on in comparison to Convoy. It still like leaves a lot open though, and certainly when we're talking about like, is it worth banning out the Wolverine? On Krakoa, it's one of those hard ones where it's like, it's hard to gauge because so many options for the duelists are available.
There are so many effective characters, and also it depends on point to point, Moxie. There are some points where you've got a massive line of sight, and there are some points where there's some huge choke points. It very much depends on where they start, doesn't it?
All right, let's get this chat.
Yeah, I mean, maybe moving away from the
just
Wolverine.
Just popped in to say hi, going to a circus. Y'all
really
enjoy your night. What?
It's Fate's White Fox.
Bro, you can just watch my stream. It's a circus already.
Because if he goes off of the White Fox, he probably goes on to something like the Jeff, but that White Fox has been proving like really, really rough. In terms of like the ultimate, it's kind of okay. You can burst through it fairly easily, especially if you have like Oasis on the Jeff being able to complete the
you have a clown at home, bro.
Multiple times using the Kumiho Unleashed does still leave you susceptible to the Jeff ultimate, and you do just become a larger target to go off of that map. But in the neutral, right, it's really sort of like circumventing a lot of what
did you guys hear?
Did
you guys hear that earlier? Did you guys hear that earlier when the casters are saying it? Navi asked for a 5-minute break after 4 games, while Team Heretics has already played 9 games in about like 5 hours of matches, and that's actually funny.
Even when the Captain America drops her shield.
Defensively, like you say, to just kind of try and counter duel him. We've also seen him play a little bit aggressively in some of these fights. We saw him quite a bit earlier clearing out a Cosmic Yard Amplifier as White Fox after just following up on his team's dive. He's a scary player to deal with, Ryan.
Oh, for sure. I think it's just the fact that he's like ahead of the curve with these kind of characters. Like, he's been grinding it a lot. He's been just actually pulling Jerky in to sort of run in as this strategist duo. Like, you're on Lunar Snow, I'm on White Fox, let's go. And he's like, yes, honey. Like, I've been forced into this role. But it has worked out for Jerky because he has been forced into positions like there where he's playing the Invisible Woman. He's not afraid to sort of pick up whatever characters are necessary. And even though like people,
that's actually crazy. Tuning in while at a country music festival. How have the matches been going? That's so crazy. You guys are at like these festivals and stuff, and you guys are just pulling up the stream.
Like, he's trying to
that's
fill
a
in
W.
all of these gaps and allow Navi to be a little bit more clear cut with some of these compositions that they want to run through, which makes maps like Krakoa intimidating for Team Heretics. It was the reason why they lost it yesterday in that upper bracket final.
We appreciate all of your patience. The players are ready, so we'll be heading into map number 5. If Navi win, they will be your preseason champions and be heading into season 1 with a lovely advantage. Whereas if Heretics
What's
win,
up, coach?
they've still got to win 2 more
Okay, let's see this.
It's an uphill battle.
Come on, Team Heretics.
Pray, but they are Heretics.
Don't go out like this, bro. You guys got to win.
God, they may hit praise of Mr. Poole himself.
Chills. I like that a lot. How was it taking that long to hear that, Tension? That's actually such a sick line. Anyway, back to this. I hope people don't have plans tonight because I do think that this series has a couple more twists and turns as preseason pretty much has. The one thing that we are sure that isn't going to like twist and turn too much is this first ban. Elsa has not been available. It might have been the last time that we've seen this so far in preseason. I imagine it's going to be more of the same, and it is, Mox.
Yeah, more of that Elsa instant ban. Now, do Team Heretics go for the Gambit? Do they go for the Invisible Woman? They continue going for this Vanguard Deadpool. As we've talked about, like, Krakoa Domination map, very, very strong for getting that Deadpool ultimate online very, very quickly before the first fight has even commenced a lot of the time. Something that Na'Vi just do not want to let slip one-sided. They're going to secure it too, which means that we're going to have an absolute arms race to be able to get the first ban hammer off.
Are we going to see this utopia where Elsa and Gambit are going to be banned out from either side? I mean, that would...
Jay, are you dead?
Like,
no.
Is it going to be Heretics? Is it going to be banning out the Elsa or banning out the Gambit? Why not both? Yeah, both.
I always love how EMEA bans Elsa and America's don't. True.
We are expecting Navi to ban it out eventually, but they might be going out for the Daredevil, which has actually been mirror banned. Neither team sees each other do this. They were just on the same wavelength.
I mean, I do think banning out the Gambit is more impactful on the side of Team Heretics here, since Na'Vi have been the ones mostly leaning on things like that Rogue in the neutral. Na'Vi, though, they're going to actually save the Jeff coming on through. So we talked about it. We summoned it. We said it, what, 3 times? Fate's Jeff is going to be running amok potentially, unless this is all a bait and he's actually going to roll out on the White Fox so that Na'Vi get the better composition to start off the domination round to close up that first snowball-heavy fight. As Heretics now going to be seeing that Jeff thinking about maybe banning out the Venom, but no, they ban out the Cap instead. So symbiotic shenanigans
banning Captain America. Also, one team
saving
the Shark. I love this.
At least one of the sort of dive.
I'm loving this, chat. I'm loving
this. Is going to be in play with the Deadpool Vanguard, so Captain America isn't going to be paired alongside it. Jeff is going to be protected on both sides. Oasis is sweating a little bit, wants to make sure that he has access to this character that he didn't have access to last time. And then Star-Lord banned out at the end, which does mean that the Gambit is still available for Heretics. So you'd have to imagine that Alex is going to be very keen on picking it up.
Yeah, but they won't have the Star-Lord. And again, this was like a really good ban coming on through from Na'Vi because Heretics haven't really been playing the Rogue all that much. They haven't been starting off on the Rogue. They've only been mirroring it when Na'Vi's hand has forced them to be able to equalize the damage potential in that neutral. So much more problematic would the Star-Lord be with that ultimate combination, especially if you're playing Jeff as one of your strategists.
I'm going to leave my phone on here overnight to get the drops. Hey, no problem. Hey, listen, if you guys ever need drops or preview seasons or the best watch parties for Marvel Rivals, you could literally just come here. You don't even have to watch. Just leave your computer on, go to work, go to school, go to the gym. Make sure not to mute the stream, mute the tab.
Even though it would give Terra an additional iframe, but it
drops,
looks like Na'Vi might be going for just a strange teleport to try and get the jump literally on Heretics at the start.
Okay, let's get this, chat.
Heretics picked up the characters, or is this... There we go.
Let's get it.
Having a bit of a
match number 5.
This is very much gonna be balls to the wall.
I hope what do you call it? Team Heretics can win this.
Breaths, everybody, put it on full screen. It could be the end of Heretics' run in preseason and preseason altogether, unless they're able to pull back Krakoa. Na'Vi going for the portal play to begin with, as it's going to be Terra that's actually going to try and isolate a target, and the eyes are on Alex.
Oh, can they catch this Gambit? Everyone piles on through. You've got the symbiotic shenanigans. You've been able to use that portal and split the team from that Gambit. This now forces Heretics to have to turn back and peel. Unicorn Shield comes on out from both of these Deadpools, but Shirky's been able to find an isolated Vanguard and takes Enzo down. Heretics losing one of those bodies to absorb the incoming damage will also now start feeling it in terms of the amount of heal sustainability that the strategist can battery off of. Still, Phoenix uncontested on the up angle.
Come on, Heretics, take us to a map 5, bro. Take us to a map 5.
The Venom, as Enzo dropped
take us to a
early,
map
just
6,
goes back on the Doctor's range.
Picks have been traded out though, and the point still hasn't been taken. Look how close it is for Na'Vi to actually touch it across the line, and they do. Alongside the
your mom is doing really well.
Going to be a routing of eliminations going up against Heretics. More so that they're going to try and reset as quickly as possible and not allow the rest of Na'Vi to build up any more ult charge.
Yeah, that's really problematic for Team Heretics, who now are going to be swapping Beetle over to that Rogue, yes. Understanding, okay, Navi are playing Dive. Thought about the Rogue, actually decide that they're going to swap Tanuki onto the Rogue. Beetle goes for the Cap instead, so you're still going to have Dive presence. You've got the Psylocke to be able to follow up on. The best defense is a strong offense, and they'll be looking at Navi's back line, who are a lot closer to Strategist ultimates.
Team Heretics,
not having
they
that
have to win this
sustainability to be able to back
this is their
from
map
Enzo's
choice, bro.
presence means that he's massively behind on the first Gambit ult cast.
Brawly in nature as well. Heretics now, Tanuki on the Rogue. So yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of left clicking and punching their way through if they can find an opening. But Navi are playing so well front to back, even with this dive. It's very reserved in how they're looking for these engagements. But there's Heretics trying to use this as a chance to push all the way through. A leap up to the skies. Terra is going to try and dodge some of this damage, but it has to be respected because he has the Eye of Agamotto. They don't know exactly where he's going to drift in from. And now you've got the Royal Flush from Alex, allowing a bit more of a push.
Wait, great. Wait, who was that?
From the Maelstrom, and
great bubble by Enzo to dodge for 2 players, but damn. But they ended up still dying, dude.
Finds that final pick to keep things stalled out. 80%
damn, dude. Hey, that was going to be like a 3-4 man ult, ended up being 1.
Final fight territory, only a Jeff ultimate, Freedom Charge, and Heartbreaker to be able to set your way onto this point. Terra swapping back on the Wolverine as well means that Heretics Vanguards are going to have to be very worried about those potential grabs. As Heretics won't use the Strange TP, they'll use the Map TP instead. Na'Vi heard the Sound Q though. They've already been able to rotate their backline away from Tanuki's presence. No one gets hit by that Heartbreaker, and the Rogue has to go forward into the freeze coming on through from level 1 Crook. Overtime's in play. Beetle has to come out with this Freedom Charge. Oasis still has the It's Jeff, but unfortunately you don't
wow, he
use
actually
it in
did
time
get the
to
kill with the
save your
pocket.
Gambit.
Wow.
Jeff heals only.
Oh, it doesn't even matter, bro. Remember, chat, this is the Luna without the buffs. This is Luna without the buffs. She is going to be stronger. Obviously on 7.5. This is 7. This is season 7
within
patch.
A stone's throw of locking Heretics out of the series.
No, not world champion.
Very little
these
players
are
to fight this, all falling one
these
at a time.
are
It's now down to
these are
one
basically showing you who's the best in their
Heretics.
current region. So
Otherwise,
EMEA, let's just say Navi wins this. They are the best in EMEA.
2026.
This is not a LAN event, so you will not be seeing different regions play against each other.
To go more towards some of the triple
so you will not see the winner of EMEA versus the winner of NA.
Alex actually takes
until
over the
after the first stage,
Deadpool.
which is the mid-season finals.
So you forgo the banhammer coming
this is an
out from the
online
Vanguard
event right
Deadpool,
now,
as well as that Unicorn Shield to cut line of sight. But Navi are taking like these fights in so many different positions that you just want to have a triple strategist line to stabilize and utilize things like that, heal sustainability of the AoE. Oasis does have ult. Navi don't really have anything to be able to avoid this, as we're going to get a very early Strange TP on the side of Terra yet again. This is what they did previously, but Enzo should just be able to, with the Hulk, stack up with the rest of the team and provide those unbreakable guards to bubble everybody. As Heretics portal onto point, Navi are about to portal right on top of Heretics as Jeff. Oasis is about to be
they have to announce it. I don't know yet.
People to force
I don't think anyone knows.
I'm in danger, Oasis says as he's about to get leaped in on. And it's also Heretics fighting without the Gambit. They've switched away from it despite having access. They want to go for something that no doubt is one of their
there we go, Team Heretics. They gotta set the tempo, bro.
As it's led to a pick onto Terra, but it's traded out on the other side as it's Jeff and Feast of the Abyss both going to be used to keep this fight stalled out in the end. A grab up, but you can already see the Jerkies making sure that this Jeff can't get away too far. Not able to grab all that much, I don't think, in the end. But now it's a banhammer from Rajaro, starting off the fight the same way as last time, and finds a pick onto Oasis. Heretics might be losing out on this first fight again on 2 points in a row.
Oh, come on, Heretics.
Heretics starting to drop World Breaker even for Enzo. He's going to switch across. The portal play is actually going to come out early on the side of Team Heretics. Team
Heretics started so strong, bro. They're fumbling the bag.
They used it at the start of the round.
Oh, they did. Of course they did.
And it did
if you want more information about the mid-season grand finals and all that stuff, chat, type !MRI.
So now if you're Team Heretics, you do have a light at the end of the tunnel, right? Tanuki will be able to come and through down to the butterflies. You have one-sided invisible boundary. It means that it's crucial that you scout out where exactly Terror is going to be, though, because that last stand can pin you right out of position. As Fate will be playing absolute untouchable Jeff all the way away from where the fight is actually happening. There's the last stand. That's the whole team. Oh my goodness. That picks up the invisible.
I don't think that was the whole team. I think that was only 2 people, but that's still a W.
Oh, there might not be many. GG go next. This might be it, but this fight has gone so badly for Heretics. They want to try and reset as much as they can. Enzo, is he going to be stalled out?
Wait, why would you do that? You just fed like 600 more HP in ult charge. Oh no, they're staggering him, chat.
Poking, yeah.
Oh, they're staggering him.
He goes for the portal, but he's got 4 players already to charge him off.
Oh no, just jump off them. Oh, bro, they're bullying him, chat. They're bullying him.
It's going to be 60% on the board for NAVI.
I mean, it's desperation plays. Tanuki's onto the Moon Knight, Ryan. The Moon Knight without the Groot. Like, you are punishing the fact that Na'Vi are playing very stacked up. You'll be able to have the Hand of Conchu, but yeah, goes for the Wolverine instead. Has the fastball special. Might get from right into the mix, but Beetle goes down first by a grab coming on through from Terra. Cherokee with the dance of the butterflies forces the invisible boundary off the point. Heretics will live it, but it comes at the cost of the strategist ultimate that they were relying on stabilizing that position against Na'Vi's on the point itself.
Oh no, bro, every time I see the Hulk position baby form getting bullied.
Needed, as Fate just uses the edge jab to get the heal sustainability, and Team Heretics have to just play the space away from the
Oh my god! Oh my god, what is that angle, bro? What the
Alex has to go
what? Bro, you you have to live and breathe and dream of Marvel Rivals to know that was a spot.
They have found themselves a win in the preseason, and Heretics, this new super team, has to deal with second.
Oh.